Chapter 3301, I should have sent the Thorn Avatar. The terrifying pressure made it hard to breathe. Lin Moyu could clearly sense Withering and Flourishing Elder's anger, both old anger and new fury. Amidst the anger was also intense killing intent. It seems the damage Chain Lightning did to the Wild Grass Avatar was even more severe than imagined. Chain Lightning had already struck towards the distance, entering 100 Herbs Alliance territory. Lin Moyu wasn't sure exactly how much damage the Wild Grass Avatar had suffered. But he could be certain the damage wasn't small. At least all the wild grass in Netherworld race territory had been destroyed by the lightning, not a single blade remaining. At the same time, the Wild Grass Avatar had also completed its mission, causing some impact on him and buying time for Withering and Flourishing Elder. Lin Moyu knew that in terms of speed, he couldn't possibly outpace Withering and Flourishing Elder. Even if he used all his strength and employed space-time power, he still couldn't match Withering and Flourishing Elder. This was the unbridgeable gap between Dao Venerable and Great Dao realms. Now he could only try to delay as much as possible. Lin Moyu rapidly thought of countermeasures in his mind, while holding a Great Dao Immortality pill in his hand. Like before, he held one pill each for his soul and body. He now had 2 Great Dao Immortality pills left. With them, he could delay for 20 minutes. So the key issue was to delay for the remaining 40 minutes. The longer the better, of course. If he could delay even longer, he could save the Great Dao Immortality pills. Suddenly, Lin Moyu had a flash of inspiration and thought of a method. He abruptly turned around, reversing direction to fly towards the 100 Herbs Alliance. Withering and Flourishing Elder, who was chasing, was clearly stunned for a moment. He didn't understand why Lin Moyu suddenly reversed direction, actually flying towards his headquarters. This was no different from seeking death. In this moment of surprise, the distance between him and Lin Moyu instantly widened considerably, causing him to miss the opportunity to attack. "You're seeking death," Withering and Flourishing Elder shouted angrily, speeding up again to give chase. Lin Moyu increased his speed to the limit, recklessly charging straight towards the 100 Herbs Alliance, towards Withering and Flourishing Elder's headquarters. The Netherworld race's territory wasn't large. At full speed, Lin Moyu would enter 100 Herbs Alliance territory in just a few minutes. Suddenly a strange scent entered his nose. The scent was very faint. Others might not have noticed it at all. The scent carried a fresh fragrance, giving one a feeling of carefree delight. But Lin Moyu realized something was wrong and instantly stopped breathing. Though he stopped breathing, he could still smell the scent. It wasn't smelled by his physical body, but by his soul. Just 10 seconds later, Lin Moyu suddenly felt dizzy. His soul became groggy. His whole being felt drowsy. His speed suddenly slowed, further shortening the distance between him and Withering and Flourishing Elder. Poisoned, or cursed, the 100 Herbs Alliance had plant poisons and myriad grass curses. Either one was very troublesome. Lin Moyu couldn't tell for the moment if he had been poisoned or cursed. He was immune to the vast majority of poisons and curses. He had the origin level technique immunity, which was very powerful, so Lin Moyu had never been troubled by poison or curses. Poisons and curses that could affect him should have transcended the Dao Venerable realm. Lin Moyu's mind stirred. The 11-colored dragon soul crystal immediately emitted a dragon roar, then breathed out dragon breath to envelop his soul. In the dragon soul crystal's dragon breath, whether poison or curse, all were purified. His consciousness instantly cleared. Oh, a clear sound of surprise came. Withering and Flourishing Elder was obviously very shocked that Lin Moyu was unaffected. Despite his surprise, Withering and Flourishing Elder's speed didn't slow at all. He continued closing the distance with Lin Moyu. The distance between them was now close enough for Withering and Flourishing Elder to attack. But to be absolutely certain, Withering and Flourishing Elder didn't attack immediately. Having dealt with Lin Moyu a few times, he knew Lin Moyu was very troublesome. Lin Moyu said softly, "It's only polite to reciprocate." With a thought, the undead army mobilized. Space distorted greatly as 10 million skeleton generals appeared in midair, forming a dense sea of skeletons charging madly towards Withering and Flourishing Elder. Withering and Flourishing Elder didn't care at all about the mere 5th-level Dao Venerable skeleton generals. He passed through the gaps between the skeleton generals like an arrow. Wherever he passed, countless skeleton generals turned to dust, dying on the spot. There were so many skeleton generals that all Withering and Flourishing Elder could see were skeleton generals, nothing else. With his vision blocked by skeleton generals, if he hadn't still been locked onto Lin Moyu, he would probably have lost direction. How can there be so many? Withering and Flourishing Elder muttered inwardly. He had already chased quite a distance and killed vast numbers of skeleton generals, but there were still skeleton generals before him. The skeleton generals seemed endless, impossible to kill them all. Just as Withering and Flourishing Elder was getting a bit irritated, he suddenly lost his lock on Lin Moyu. The Great Tao enemy lock was broken, shocking Withering and Flourishing Elder immensely. Breaking a Great Tao enemy lock wasn't something an ordinary person could do. Even he couldn't easily accomplish it. Lin Moyu was only at 4th level Tao Venerable, yet he could break his Great Tao enemy lock. Being able to break a Great Tao enemy lock now, who knew what level Lin Moyu could reach in the future? This boy absolutely cannot be allowed to live. Withering and Flourishing Elder snorted angrily, his killing intent growing stronger. He stopped and shouted angrily, 10,000 flower kill. Countless flowers flew out from his body in all directions. After flying out, the flowers rapidly enlarged, quickly becoming all-encompassing. Wherever they went, no skeleton general escaped being crushed. This technique was incredibly powerful. Skeleton generals within a radius of tens of thousands of meters were instantly swept clean, casualties beyond counting. Withering and Flourishing Elder's gaze swept around and saw Lin Moyu in the distance. The distance between them had widened again, his previous efforts wasted. But Lin Moyu's direction hadn't changed. He was still heading towards the 100 Herbs Alliance, not taking the opportunity to flee elsewhere. What is this fellow trying to do? Withering and Flourishing Elder gave chase again, but was somewhat puzzled. Normally, after breaking his Great Tao enemy lock, Lin Moyu should have fled elsewhere while his vision was blocked. But now, Lin Moyu was running towards the 100 Herbs Alliance, which was clearly odd. From what he knew of Lin Moyu absolutely wouldn't do something foolish. There must be some reason. Withering and Flourishing Elder stared intently at Lin Moyu, completing another Great Tao enemy lock. He only needed an instant to complete a Great Tao enemy lock, but Lin Moyu needed some time to break it. Withering and Flourishing Elder chased while pondering what Lin Moyu was trying to do. But no matter how he thought about it, he couldn't figure out what Lin Moyu was planning. His vision darkened as vast numbers of skeleton generals appeared again, surging over in overwhelming numbers. Withering and Flourishing Elder had a headache. These skeleton generals posed no threat to him at all, but they could greatly affect his speed. I should have sent the Thorn Avatar. Withering and Flourishing Elder had come in a hurry. The Thorn Avatar wasn't with him. Otherwise the Thorn Avatar could have dealt with these skeletons. He ignored the skeleton generals and continued chasing Lin Moyu, closing the distance between them. But just 2 minutes later, Lin Moyu broke the Great Tao enemy lock again. Withering and Flourishing Elder's vision was blocked by skeleton generals again. Afraid Lin Moyu would flee elsewhere, he had to clear out the skeleton generals first. The distance between them widened again. This repeated over and over as Lin Moyu got closer and closer to the 100 Herbs Alliance. Asterisk 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 asterisk. If someone has a NOVELPIA Plus account, please let me know. Thanks. Asterisk 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 asterisk. Chapter 3302, 3302. Chapter 3302. No matter what, I must kill you today. Withering and Flourishing Elder was about to die of anger as he watched helplessly as Lin Moyu escaped into the 100 Herbs Alliance, into his own headquarters. What on earth is he trying to do? Though angry, he also wouldn't let Lin Moyu continue escaping like this. Otherwise it would be endless, and he'd never be able to catch Lin Moyu. Now the Thorn Avatar was already on the way and would arrive soon. And nearby 100 Herbs Alliance members had also received his orders and were rushing over. Suddenly Lin Moyu's voice sounded in his ear, Withering and Flourishing Elder, do you know why I'm jumping into your lair? How do you think you'll feel if I cause some destruction in your lair? A cold smile appeared on his wrinkled face, do you think this can threaten me? With your abilities, how much damage can you really do? You're certainly troublesome, but no matter what, you're still only 4th level Dao Venerable. Now that you've entered my territory today, don't think you can leave alive. Lin Moyu chuckled, let's just see. As the words fell, the surrounding space began to distort continuously. Dense, endless skeleton generals flew out. Besides skeleton generals, there were also legion commanders. Each legion commander summoned their dragon rider legions. Lin Moyu released all 10,000 legion commanders, summoning a total of 100 billion dragon rider legions. There were the same number of skeleton generals, totaling 100 billion. After appearing, they rapidly spread in all directions, attacking as they flew. In an instant, the originally beautiful environment of the 100 Herbs Alliance was devastated. Lin Moyu's wings of time suddenly changed, with the curse wings joining to form the complete time curse wings. The time curse wings vibrated non-stop, scattering endless curses. This time the curses were all death curses, carrying the power of death. With Lin Moyu's current realm, those below Dao Venerable realm couldn't withstand his curse power. Under the curses, whether living beings or the earth, all rapidly withered and decayed. At this moment, Withering and Flourishing Elder finally understood what Lin Moyu was trying to do. Though the scattered skeleton generals and undead army weren't high in realm, there were no small number of 100 Herbs Alliance members who could deal with them. But their numbers were simply too many, so many it was shocking, even terrifying. Even Withering and Flourishing Elder had never seen an army of this scale before. Once the undead army scattered, even he would need a lot of time to clean them all up. During this time, who knew how much his territory would be destroyed? Riddled with holes, might be too mild a description. Turning into ruins or becoming a wasteland would be normal. Even if he could kill Lin Moyu in the end, so what? His lair would definitely be destroyed. At this moment, Withering and Flourishing Elder's mood was extremely complex. He began to regret a bit that he shouldn't have provoked Lin Moyu. Though Lin Moyu had ruined his plans of many years in the Ice-Fire secret realm, that was actually just each side making their own calculations. Normally, he should have accepted the loss. If that were the case, things wouldn't have become like this. He suddenly understood somewhat why the Beast Emperor had taken a friendly attitude towards Lin Moyu. And when the Beast Emperor first came, he had also advised making peace with Lin Moyu. But he hadn't accepted, because he couldn't swallow his anger. His plans of many years had been ruined by a mere small Dao Venerable. How could he swallow that anger? But looking back, if he had known Lin Moyu would be so troublesome, perhaps he would have endured for a while. But now it was too late to say anything. Now to let Lin Moyu go, where would he put his old face? Letting Lin Moyu go was absolutely impossible. Withering and Flourishing Elder laughed, his voice ice cold. If the 100 Herbs Alliance is destroyed, I can rebuild it. But today I must kill you. Great Dao Realm, caring about face even when dying. Lin Moyu cursed inwardly, then said softly, territory can be rebuilt if lost, but what if all the people die? Withering and Flourishing Elder sneered, though your things are numerous, their realm is too low. They can only kill those of low realms. Those people can recover in not too many years. Lin Moyu smiled and said, who says I can only kill those of low realms? At this moment, an 8th level Dao Venerable plant-based lifeform rushed over. It was a large rock covered in moss. The moss was this being's true form. It was closest to here and had rushed over immediately upon receiving Withering and Flourishing Elder's order. Withering and Flourishing Elder shouted, stop him. The moss lifeform immediately charged towards Lin Moyu. The huge rock was over 100 meters tall, smashing over like a small mountain. Lin Moyu's expression didn't change. The space beside him distorted as Supu appeared out of thin air. With the cloud-piercing sword in hand, Supu swung the sword. The small mountain was engulfed by sword light, turning to dust. Within the sword light, the moss lifeform died on the spot. However, a point of light flew out. It didn't fly into the distance, but fell into Withering and Flourishing Elder's hand. Spirit Plant Rebirth. The Dao Venerables of the 100 Herbs Alliance all possessed the Spirit Plant Rebirth ability. After death they didn't truly die, but would turn into a seed and escape back. Then 100 Herbs Alliance people would come find the seed and bring it back. Now with Withering and Flourishing Elder here, the seed naturally flew to his hand. Withering and Flourishing Elder sneered, you can't kill them. In not too many years, I can restore them to their original state. I forgot about Spirit Plant Rebirth. Lin Moyu had a headache. His plan needed to change. Even if he used Corpse Explosion to blow up a 9th level Dao Venerable, he couldn't continue. Because of spirit plant rebirth, those blown up weren't truly dead. He could only blow them up once. Since that's the case, then I'll have to offend you. Lin Moyu's mind stirred. The undead army he had released immediately began attacking various lifeforms in the 100 Herbs Alliance. The undead army specifically targeted low-realm Dao Venerables, not touching those below Dao Venerable realm. At this time, the 200 billion undead troops had already spread out very widely, covering a large area of 100 Herbs Alliance territory under their feet. Possessing the undead eye, no Dao Venerable could escape their eyes. For a time, large numbers of seeds flew over from all directions, all flying towards Withering and Flourishing Elder. Withering and Flourishing Elder was so angry his beard bristled. "You deserve to die." Lin Moyu said coldly, "I'm not killing Bo Ren, but Bo Ren is dying because of you. All this karma will be recorded on your head. It's because of you that they are dying for no reason. The karma is heavy, you'll have a lot to repay in the future." Lin Moyu's voice was like a curse, each word striking Withering and Flourishing Elder's soul. Withering and Flourishing Elder shouted angrily, "Fine, fine, fine. I'll accept all this karma. No matter what, I must send you off today." He was determined to kill Lin Moyu today. The two had completely fallen out, with no room for reconciliation. Lin Moyu had roughly grasped Withering and Flourishing Elder's personality. He was an extremely grudge-holding villain. If he couldn't thoroughly frighten him this time, the future troubles would likely be endless. The killing intent in Lin Moyu's heart was also rising. Now he knew he still couldn't kill Withering and Flourishing Elder, but if he had the chance in the future, he must kill him. A black shadow appeared ahead. A huge red ball covered in spikes smashed towards them. The ball was hundreds of meters in diameter, coming with the momentum of a collapsing mountain. As it pounced over, it was accompanied by a great Dao enemy lock, impossible to dodge. Su Ku was the first to attack, raising the cloud-piercing sword and charging out. Boom! Su Ku's figure was sent flying back. The huge ball only paused slightly, its momentum undiminished. In terms of power, Su Ku had been utterly defeated. Asterisk 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 asterisk. If someone has a NOVELPIA Plus account, please let me know. Thanks. Asterisk 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 asterisk. Chapter 3303, 3303. Chapter 3303. Escaped another crisis. The Thorn Avatar. Lin Moyu understood in his heart. He knew this was Withering and Flourishing Elder's third avatar, also the last publicly known avatar. As for whether Withering and Flourishing Elder had any hidden avatars, no one knew. Just like the Ice Fire Seed, even the Beast Emperor and 3 ancestors didn't know Withering and Flourishing Elder had such an avatar. In one collision, Su Ku was defeated in strength by the Thorn Avatar, but after Su Ku's obstruction, the Thorn Avatar's speed also decreased considerably. The Thorn Avatar suddenly expanded, its huge body turning into a giant net covered in spikes, enveloping the entire world within it, completely cutting off Lin Moyu's path forward. It didn't bother with Su Ku at all, aiming directly at Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu wasn't afraid of it, but was considering how to deal with it. Using corpse explosion could indeed severely injure it instantly, but might not be able to kill it. Withering and Flourishing Elder's avatars were different from ordinary 9th level Dao Venerables, with much stronger vitality. Lin Moyu had already experienced the former Vine avatar. Using the Great Dao Immortality Pill, then using Gather Power to raise his realm to 9th level Dao Venerable, he could also fight it. But that would expose his origin technique. At that time, Withering and Flourishing Elder would likely spare no cost to kill him. Now he wasn't confident he could kill Withering and Flourishing Elder, so it was better not to expose himself. Neither method was ideal, and now wasn't the time to fight to the death. Try the skeleton hell. Lin Moyu's mind stirred, and he pointed his finger. In an instant, the world changed color, turning black and red. The skeleton hell appeared in the world, surrounding the thorn in reverse. Countless hell fiends rushed out, pouncing on the thorn. The hell fiends didn't care about life or death, biting as soon as they pounced on the thorn, instantly getting riddled with holes from the thorns. But they didn't care at all. The hell fiends were extremely vicious, biting down again and again. Though they couldn't bite through much, they kept biting relentlessly. Accompanied by a dragon's roar, the new netherworld black dragon, Heyu, burst out of the netherworld black pool. Its huge dragon head spewed out a breath of dragon fire, falling on the thorn, then its entire head rammed into it. With a huge boom, Heyu was knocked back, several scales on its head broken. But the thorn avatar wasn't faring well either. The huge force made it contract involuntarily, its range instantly shrinking. At the same time, the burning and corrosion from the dragon breath made it very uncomfortable. The hell's eye opened, sweeping over with a soul attack. Spider lilies bloomed simultaneously, weakening its power. At this time Supu attacked again, raising the cloud-piercing sword and slashing down. The cloud-piercing sword glowed brightly. The sword spirit within let out a crisp shout, the sword's aura rising sharply, amplifying Supu's power. As the sword light fell, a gap was instantly cut in the thorn avatar. Lin Moyu seized this moment to pass through the gap, continuing to fly towards the distance. Withering and Flourishing Elder experienced again how troublesome Lin Moyu was. He was a mighty great Dao realm powerhouse. Even if he could only use 30% of his power, he was still great Dao realm. Let alone a 4th level Dao Venerable like Lin Moyu, even a 9th level Dao Venerable could be killed casually by him. But now, after chasing and killing all this way, Lin Moyu had escaped again and again. Not only that, his territory was suffering a great massacre. Dao Venerables below 5th level kept dying, seeds constantly flying to his hand. Lin Moyu's subordinates were too numerous, killing too quickly. If this continued, all his subordinates would die. Though spirit plant rebirth could revive them, that also required a lot of time. Within a certain period, the number of times spirit plant rebirth could be used was limited. Withering and Flourishing Elder was thoroughly enraged. If this continued, the 100 Herbs Alliance would be severely weakened, difficult to recover for at least 10,000 years. Even the Thorn Avatar couldn't stop Lin Moyu. Withering and Flourishing Elder hardened his heart, knowing he couldn't drag this out any longer. A towering great tree appeared behind Withering and Flourishing Elder, with a great Dao entwined around it. Withering and Flourishing Elder revealed his true form. Though it was only a projection of his true form, it already caused the world to change for tens of thousands of miles around. Thunder roared, countless lightning bolts fell. The power of the great Dao poured down, as if warning Withering and Flourishing Elder not to do this. The power Withering and Flourishing Elder was using now had reached the limit of the origin continent. If he used any more, he would suffer punishment from the great Dao. Lin Moyu saw the projection and only then knew Withering and Flourishing Elder's main body was a great tree. This tree had dense branches and leaves, blocking out the sky, incredibly vast. Lin Moyu wasn't surprised at all. He judged at a glance that Withering and Flourishing Elder's main body wasn't as good as his world tree. In Withering and Flourishing Elder's main body projection, the tree trunk could be divided into silver and green colors. At this time, several silver branches suddenly broke off, falling from the tree. The fallen branches exploded on the spot, turning into countless segments, then each segment evolved into an arrow. A vast sea of arrows appeared in the world, like a huge net, densely shooting towards Lin Moyu. The world shook and space shattered. The power of the great Dao surged wildly. Withering and Flourishing Elder's attack was too strong. Each arrow was enough to kill a 9th level Dao Venerable. This attack had already touched the edge of great Dao punishment. If it exceeded even a bit more, the heavenly Dao would certainly bring down punishment. If the great Dao brought down punishment, Withering and Flourishing Elder might not even be able to stay on the origin continent. Lin Moyu and Withering and Flourishing Elder both knew this clearly. Lin Moyu knew even more that Withering and Flourishing Elder had used all the power he could use, determined to kill him. Countless arrows pierced through the void, turning into a huge net sweeping towards him. He had nowhere to escape. Even if he were a pseudo-great Dao realm being, he would likely die facing such an attack. Lin Moyu realized that Withering and Flourishing Elder couldn't casually use this attack either. He would likely have to pay some price. He threw the Great Dao Immortality Pill in his hand into his mouth. The Great Dao Immortality Pill he had prepared for so long, if not used now, when? The Great Dao Immortality Pill took effect instantly. Lin Moyu knew he had entered an undying state. In this state, he could gain 10 minutes of immortal time. The Great Tao Immortality Pill contained the power of the Great Tao. As long as the attack didn't surpass the Great Tao Immortality Pill would be effective. Withering and Flourishing Elder was at the Great Tao realm. If he used his full power, he might truly be able to break through the Great Tao Immortality Pill. But now he could only use 30% of his power, so the Great Tao Immortality Pill would certainly be effective. This wasn't Lin Moyu's guess, but what the three ancestors had personally said. However, the stronger the attack endured, the shorter the time of the Great Tao Immortality Pill would be. At the same time, Lin Moyu used the power Great Tao to employ the Undying Golden Body, raising his defense as much as possible to reduce the burden on the Great Tao Immortality Pill. He didn't use his origin technique. Lin Moyu didn't use Gather Power to raise his realm, because he didn't want to further provoke Withering and Flourishing Elder. Moreover, now wasn't the time to use origin techniques. Lin Moyu knew when to use them. When he used origin techniques would be when he truly intended to kill Withering and Flourishing Elder. Before he was certain, Lin Moyu wouldn't act. The arrows pierced Lin Moyu's body. The huge force sent Lin Moyu flying horizontally. Lin Moyu didn't resist the force of the arrows, but instead used the arrows, forced to rapidly distance himself. It looked as if Lin Moyu had suddenly accelerated sharply, getting further and further from Withering and Flourishing Elder. This result was within Lin Moyu's expectations. Even the entire process was under his control. Which arrow to be hit by, which direction the force would transfer, how to borrow the force, Lin Moyu had calculated it all. Asterisk 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 asterisk. I will now start translating corruption in the dungeon. Asterisk 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 asterisk. I have completely translated the following books. The 100th Regression of the Max Level Player. Real Life Player. Your Girlfriend Was Amazing. Check them out on my P at TR30N. ko-fi.com/translate-toki only donate if you want to. My Patreon is now up. Go to email protected translate toki. Remove the @ symbol and type a. Chapter 3304, 3304. Chapter 3304, Heavenly Punishment Fire, the Great Tao's Bottom Line. Withering and Flourishing Elder stared blankly at this scene, realizing Lin Moyu hadn't died at all, or even been injured. Not only that, he had even used his attack to escape faster and further. The next second he reacted, roaring in anger, Great Tao Immortality Pill. The three ancestors. Only the Lufeng Chamber of Commerce had Great Tao Immortality Pills, and ordinary people couldn't buy them at all. Lin Moyu's Great Tao Immortality Pill was most likely bought from the three ancestors. Previously the Beast Emperor had come to cause trouble for him on Lin Moyu's behalf, so it was normal for Lin Moyu to have some relationship with the three ancestors. Withering and Flourishing Elder's anger rose as he gave chase again. Let's see how many Great Tao Immortality Pills you have. By now Lin Moyu had opened up some distance from Withering and Flourishing Elder. The distance between them exceeded 1,000 miles, the furthest they had been since Withering and Flourishing Elder began the chase. Lin Moyu kept buying time for himself. That last attack shortened the Great Tao Immortality Pill's time by at least a third. Now only 6 minutes remain. I have one more Great Tao Immortality Pill, but ideally it can only last 10 minutes. Added together that's at most 16 minutes. To be safe, let's count it as 10 minutes. It's about 20 more minutes until the Beast Emperor arrives. That means I need to hold on for at least 20 minutes. Holding on for 20 minutes under a Great Tao Realm being's pursuit, without using his true trump cards, one can imagine how difficult that would be. Lin Moyu's thoughts raced as he considered how to proceed. Suddenly, an immense aura came from behind again. His spiritual sense warned him. Withering and Flourishing Elder once more manifested his true body's projection, breaking off a branch that turned into countless dense arrows sweeping towards Lin Moyu. Withering and Flourishing Elder said with killing intent, "Let's see how many times you can block." He also clearly understood the effects of the Great Tao Immortality Pill. As long as it received attacks, the pill's duration would decrease rapidly. Seeing the arrows filling the sky, Lin Moyu's gaze sharpened. He thought of a method. Though not clever, it might be effective. If it didn't work, he could still rely on the Great Tao Immortality Pill to endure. He wouldn't lose anything. One battle beast after another appeared behind him, meeting the arrows in Lin Moyu's place. The battle beasts were 7th level Tao Venerable. Facing withering and flourishing elders' arrows, they had no resistance. The arrows instantly pierced through the battle beasts' bodies. Then with a thunderous roar, a series of brilliant explosions erupted in the air. As reborn beings, they would instantly self-destruct upon death. The battle beasts had 7th level Tao Venerable combat power. When they self-destructed, the power they released was comparable to 8th level Tao Venerable. It was equivalent to over 100 8th level Tao Venerables attacking with all their might, disregarding their lives. Though they couldn't stop the arrows, they did slow them slightly and cause a slight deviation in direction. And the dazzling explosions blocked vision for an instant. In the moment the explosions occurred, Lin Moyu once again broke withering and flourishing elders' lock on him. As he broke the lock, space distorted. Lin Moyu released vast numbers of skeleton generals, blocking withering and flourishing elders' vision like they were covering the sky. Withering and flourishing elder was stunned again. With the great Tao enemy lock broken, the arrows instantly lost their target. The vast numbers of skeleton generals blocked his vision, preventing him from locking onto Lin Moyu again. And in the battle beast's self-destruction, accuracy was lost. In an instant the arrows flew in different directions. The arrows' speed was extremely fast. Some arrows shot into the ground, instantly overturning the earth. How strong was 30% of a great Tao realm being's power? One arrow was enough to overturn thousands of miles of land. One terrifying hole after another appeared. The entire western continent shook. Even more violent rumbling sounded in the sky. The great Tao seemed angry. Terrifyingly powerful flames appeared in the sky, as if they might fall at any moment to punish withering and flourishing elder. Destroying the origin continent seemed to have exceeded the great Tao's tolerance. Lin Moyu was inwardly delighted. As expected, the great Tao allows some great Tao realm beings to remain on the origin continent, but absolutely won't allow great Tao realm beings to damage the origin continent. The 4 remaining continents can be said to be the great Tao's bottom line. Lin Moyu realized his idea was correct. When withering and flourishing elder used his full power to attack, though it was a threat, it was also an opportunity for him. If he had a way to guide withering and flourishing elders' attacks to damage the origin continent, then the great Tao would naturally bring down punishment. Seeing the flames that suddenly appeared in the sky, Lin Moyu felt his heart pounding. Not just him, even a great Tao realm being like withering and flourishing elders' face changed greatly when he saw the flames. This was heavenly punishment fire, the thing all cultivators feared most. All cultivators had to endure the trial of heavenly punishment fire when breaking through to Tao Venerable and entering the great Tao realm. But that was just a trial. The power of true heavenly punishment fire was far beyond that. Burning a great Tao realm being to death wasn't very difficult. Heavenly punishment fire is indeed somewhat similar to my world burning fire. That being in the soul void mistook world burning fire for great Tao essence fire. That means the great Tao essence fire he mentioned is also very similar to heavenly punishment fire. 3 such similar fires, what exactly are the differences? Or are they the same thing? While pondering this, Lin Moyu's speed didn't decrease at all. He continued fleeing at top speed. Withering and flourishing elder also didn't stop because of the heavenly punishment fire's appearance. He knew the heavenly punishment fire was just giving him a warning now and hadn't truly fallen. If he damaged the origin continent again like before, the heavenly punishment fire would truly descend. Then he'd be in big trouble. Not only would he be unable to stay on the origin continent, perhaps even his foundation would be affected. However, all of this was thanks to Lin Moyu. He had no intention of letting Lin Moyu go. On the contrary, his determination to kill Lin Moyu was even firmer, and the opportunity was not far away. Lin Moyu felt withering and flourishing elder lock onto him again. He quickly sought the location of the lock. After finding it, he didn't rush to break it immediately. Even breaking the lock required choosing the right moment. Withering and flourishing elder said nothing. The distance between them was closing. Using the previous method, Lin Moyu was about to release skeleton generals to block vision and break the lock, forcing withering and flourishing elder to clear away the skeleton generals before continuing the chase. This time, it seemed no different on the surface. Just as Lin Moyu was about to release the skeleton generals, his expression suddenly changed slightly. Several powerful auras appeared simultaneously, instantly locking down the area. The undead eye swept over, seeing 10 huge soul flames. The 9th level Dao Venerable experts of the 100 Herbs Alliance had arrived, a full 10 of them, from sky to ground, completely blocking his path forward. Lin Moyu naturally wasn't afraid of 9th level Dao Venerables. However, if they wanted to entangle him, it would take time to shake them off. In this situation, even a delay of 1 or 2 seconds would allow Withering and Flourishing Elder to catch up and kill him. I told you, you can't escape. Withering and Flourishing Elder's voice, full of killing intent, entered his ears. Lin Moyu inwardly laughed coldly, that remains to be seen. He chose a target. His time curse wings vibrated violently as he charged forward without hesitation. His chosen target was a flower-shaped 9th level Dao Venerable. The flower was covered in thorns, it was a man-eating flower. Asterisk 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 asterisk. I will now start translating corruption in the dungeon. Asterisk 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 asterisk. I have completely translated the following books. The 100th Regression of the Max Level Player. Real Life Player. Your Girlfriend Was Amazing. Check them out on my P at TR30N. ko-fi.com/translate-toki only donate if you want to. My Patreon is now up. Go to email protected translate toki. Remove the @ symbol and type a. Chapter 3305, 3305. Chapter 3305, Withering and Flourishing Elder begins to speak incoherently. Lin Moyu chose a 9th level Dao Venerable in the shape of a man-eating flower. He didn't know its name or exactly what type it was. The only reason he chose it was because of its flower-like shape. Lin Moyu vibrated his time curse wings, charging directly at it at an astonishing speed. A dense green mist appeared in his vision as the man-eating flower Dao Venerable spewed out a mouth of poisonous fog towards Lin Moyu. The dense green mist carried a deadly poison. Even space cracked within the mist, the poison could corrode even space itself. Even other 9th level Dao Venerables would fear and avoid this type of poison. But Lin Moyu didn't dodge or evade, heading straight into the mist. Relying on the great Dao immortality pill, the dense green mist couldn't harm him at all. Passing through the mist like lightning, Lin Moyu crashed headlong into the man-eating flower Dao Venerable's body. Seeking death, the flower was its mouth. The man-eating flower Dao Venerable instinctively closed its mouth, while countless spikes grew inside to impale Lin Moyu. Inside the flower, the poison was even more concentrated. Combined with the terrifying spikes, it was enough to kill a 9th level Dao Venerable. Seeing this scene, the other 9th level Dao Venerables all thought Lin Moyu was surely dead. Even Withering and Flourishing Elder had the same thought for an instant. The man-eating flower Dao Venerable's true terror lay in the deadly poison and spikes inside its body. Even with the great Dao immortality pill's protection, Lin Moyu shouldn't be able to last long. But vaguely, he felt something was off. Sure enough, with a huge boom, the back of the man-eating flower Dao Venerable suddenly exploded. A huge hole was blasted in the giant flower, and Lin Moyu flew out through the hole, continuing to fly towards the distance without stopping for a moment. Only after Lin Moyu had flown far away did the man-eating flower Dao Venerable let out a miserable cry. Its body had actually been pierced through. Not only was its body pierced, but its soul had also been severely damaged. The other Dao Venerables looked at each other in dismay. The man-eating flower Dao Venerable was a 9th level Dao Venerable after all, with an incredibly sturdy body. How could it be pierced through so easily? No one knew how Lin Moyu had done it. Even Withering and Flourishing Elder didn't know how Lin Moyu had accomplished this. Lin Moyu had broken through their net, escaping once again. Withering and Flourishing Elder was about to explode with anger. He wanted to attack again, but looking at the heavenly punishment fire in the sky, he had to forcibly hold back. He continued chasing Lin Moyu, his old eyes locking firmly onto Lin Moyu. If looks could kill, Lin Moyu would have died thousands of times. At this moment, light flickered on Lin Moyu's body. The effects of this great Tao immortality pill were about to end. The man-eating flower Tao Venerable's obstruction had still consumed part of the great Tao immortality pill's power. When Lin Moyu had charged into the man-eating flower Tao Venerable's body, he had used the calamity scepter to directly smash open a passage. This was also why he had chosen the man-eating flower Tao Venerable. He didn't want Withering and Flourishing Elder to see the calamity scepter. Lin Moyu felt the power of the great Tao immortality pill, calculating the time in his mind. The last great Tao immortality pill, better not use it if possible. Even if I have to use it with no other option, it still won't be enough to last until the Beast Emperor arrives. Besides the great Tao immortality pill, there must be another way. Lin Moyu felt the conditions were too harsh. Trying to hold on until the Beast Emperor arrived without exposing too many trump cards was extremely difficult. Perhaps in the end, when his life was truly in danger, he would have to use his trump cards. But which one to use was worth considering. Lin Moyu's thoughts raced, flashing back to what had just happened. Looking again at the heavenly punishment fire in the sky that could fall at any moment, an idea formed in his mind. Some trump cards may truly need to be exposed. If successful, not only could I hold on until the Beast Emperor arrives, I could also teach Withering and Flourishing Elder a lesson. He's been chasing and trying to kill me for so long. He should receive some punishment and pay a price. The key is to see how the great Tao will calculate it. Thinking this, Lin Moyu's flight altitude suddenly dropped, rapidly descending from 10,000 meters high to 100 meters. As Lin Moyu's altitude lowered, Withering and Flourishing Elder also descended with him. Descending along with Withering and Flourishing Elder were the 10 ninth level Tao Venerables following in pursuit. Though their speed wasn't as fast as Withering and Flourishing Elders, they were still somewhat faster than Lin Moyu. Just before the great Tao immortality pill's power was about to disappear, space suddenly distorted violently. Vast numbers of skeleton generals appeared, blocking out the sky and obstructing Withering and Flourishing Elders' vision. This time the number of skeleton generals was shockingly high, exceeding 10 billion. No one could see Lin Moyu behind the skeleton generals. At the same time, Withering and Flourishing Elder found his great Tao enemy lock broken again. This trick again, Withering and Flourishing Elder shouted angrily. He was no longer surprised by Lin Moyu's actions. Afraid Lin Moyu would take the chance to change direction and escape, he waved his hand, launching attacks to blast a path through the skeleton generals. In an instant, vast numbers of skeleton generals died. Facing Withering and Flourishing Elders' attacks, the skeleton generals died as soon as they were touched, with no chance of survival. Suddenly, Withering and Flourishing Elders' brow furrowed. Extremely violent explosions suddenly occurred among the skeleton generals. The explosions were deafening. Each explosion was like a full power strike from an 8th level Tao Venerable. Now less than 100 meters from the ground, the earth was violently overturned. Though the power was far less than Withering and Flourishing Elders, it made up for it in sheer numbers. Explosion after explosion, dozens in succession. Thousands of miles of land were completely changed. Lin Moyu had mixed large numbers of battle beasts among the skeleton generals. When Withering and Flourishing Elder cleared away the skeleton generals, he killed the battle beasts, triggering their self-destruction. Withering and Flourishing Elder's brow furrowed tightly. He didn't understand Lin Moyu's intentions in doing this. If he wanted to destroy his territory, it didn't seem necessary to do this. Suddenly, a rumbling came from the sky. Withering and Flourishing Elder's face changed drastically. A ball of flames fell from the sky. An invisible force locked onto Withering and Flourishing Elder's entire being, rendering him unable to move. The flames struck Withering and Flourishing Elder with perfect accuracy. In an instant, Withering and Flourishing Elder was engulfed in fire. Miserable screams rang out. The heavenly punishment fire burned fiercely, causing Withering and Flourishing Elder unbearable pain. The 10 ninth level Tao Venerables who had arrived all immediately retreated in fear. Heavenly punishment fire. Why has the heavenly punishment fire descended? Could it be that those explosions just now angered the great Tao? Not only did they not understand, Withering and Flourishing Elder didn't understand either. He didn't understand why the heavenly punishment fire had descended. The explosions just now weren't caused by him, so why would the heavenly Tao count it against him? Lin Moyu watched this scene from afar, revealing a cold smile. He naturally understood the reason. Though the land was damaged by the battle beast's self-destruction, the battle beast's deaths were caused by Withering and Flourishing Elder. So naturally, most of the blame fell on Withering and Flourishing Elder. The Great Tao judged right and wrong based on cause and effect. The heavenly punishment fire had already given a warning before. Now that Withering and Flourishing Elder had erred again, he naturally had to be punished by the heavenly punishment fire. It seems I understand cause and effect better than you. With a cold smile, Lin Moyu quickly flew away. He knew the heavenly punishment fire wouldn't last too long. Before long, Withering and Flourishing Elder would chase after him again. Moreover, the heavenly punishment fire was mainly for discipline, not truly meant to burn Withering and Flourishing Elder to death. Sure enough, less than 5 seconds after Lin Moyu left, Withering and Flourishing Elder, wreathed in flames, chased after him with murderous intent. Kill you, I must kill you. This lord absolutely won't let you live. In his fury, Withering and Flourishing Elder was already speaking incoherently. The 100 Herbs Alliance territory began to glow with light. Asterisk 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 asterisk. I will now start translating corruption in the dungeon. Asterisk 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 asterisk. I have completely translated the following books. The 100th Regression of the Max Level Player. Real Life Player. Your girlfriend was amazing. Check them out on my P at TR30N. ko-fi.com/translate-toki only donate if you want to. My Patreon is now up. Go to email protected translate toki. Remove the @ symbol and type a. Chapter 3306, 3306. Chapter 3306. What does it feel like to lose both the wife and the troops? The territory of the 100 Herbs Alliance began to glow with light, catching Lin Moyu's attention. The entire ground glowing simultaneously was extremely unusual. Within the light, Lin Moyu sensed a strange power of the Great Tao. This Great Tao power came from the same source as Withering and Flourishing Elder's power. Undoubtedly, this was Withering and Flourishing Elder's handiwork. After years of operating in the 100 Herbs Alliance, Withering and Flourishing Elder surely had many arrangements unknown to others. However, he didn't want others to know about these arrangements, so he hadn't used them initially. Now, determined to kill Lin Moyu, he no longer cared about keeping them secret. Lin Moyu was naturally wary of Withering and Flourishing Elder as a great Tao realm being, so he flew towards the sky without hesitation. Before he could fly 1,000 meters, he was suddenly pulled back down. A powerful suction force emerged from the ground, forcibly pulling him down. The suction was incredibly strong. The higher he flew, the stronger the suction he faced. Conversely, the suction was weaker closer to the ground. Besides the suction, the entire space became viscous. Lin Moyu found his speed rapidly decreasing. Not just him, those 9th level Tao Venerable experts from the 100 Herbs Alliance were also affected. At least half of the entire 100 Herbs territory was enveloped by this vast suction force. Withering and Flourishing Elder, the instigator, was also somewhat affected, his speed decreasing. But he was clearly less affected than Lin Moyu, his speed not dropping as drastically. The distance Lin Moyu had worked so hard to open up was now rapidly shrinking. Withering and Flourishing Elder was still wreathed in heavenly punishment fire. He was clearly in great discomfort, his voice trembling as he gritted out, "Boy, you've pushed this lord to this point. This lord will absolutely not let you go." Lin Moyu had entered the 100 Herbs Alliance, using its beings as a threat, but to no effect. Then he had used various methods again and again, finally even finding a way to bring down heavenly punishment fire, ultimately making Withering and Flourishing Elder even more determined to kill him. Lin Moyu felt a kind of stubbornness in Withering and Flourishing Elder's personality. Withering and Flourishing Elder clearly wouldn't weigh pros and cons, he was simply rigid-minded. How did he cultivate to the Great Tao realm being so inflexible? Or are all plant-based lifeforms this rigid-minded? Lin Moyu had no choice but to continue fleeing while observing the ground. The entire ground was glowing. For Withering and Flourishing Elder to make such an arrangement, and be reluctant to use it easily, there must be a reason. The specific reason wasn't actually important. What was important was understanding how Withering and Flourishing Elder had accomplished this. Though great Tao realm beings were powerful with mysterious methods, everything had its roots. There were patterns amid the changes. Finally, Lin Moyu discovered some clues. The light covering the 100 Herbs Alliance ground actually varied in intensity. Some places glowed a bit brighter, some places a bit dimmer. But the differences weren't large. If one didn't look carefully, they wouldn't notice. Moreover, the depth and hue of the light differed. In Lin Moyu's eyes, by judging the strength and depth of the light, he gradually saw what was hidden beneath. It was the network of origin spirit veins, with thin minor veins, slightly thicker branch veins, and main veins. The origin spirit veins varied in strength. There should be several origin spirit veins under the 100 Herbs Alliance ground. Some were strong and some weak. Withering and Flourishing Elder had used some unknown method to interweave these origin spirit veins. Then using these origin spirit veins, he had arranged a great formation. The formation's level wasn't necessarily high, but using origin spirit veins as formation eyes made its power terrifyingly strong. Even a 5th grade formation, empowered by several origin spirit veins, could possibly reach 7th grade or even higher. What an impressive feat! Lin Moyu admired Withering and Flourishing Elder. Such a grand arrangement wasn't something an ordinary person could accomplish. Lin Moyu could see this formation had a single purpose, to generate an enormous suction force, stronger at greater distances. The formation was also aimed at the sky. This also meant Withering and Flourishing Elder wanted to pull down certain things from the sky. What was in the sky? Clouds, water, certainly not these things. It couldn't possibly be the Yang origin or Yin origin either. A flash of inspiration struck Lin Moyu, and he suddenly thought of the answer. Could it be he's trying to pull down the ruins beyond the sky? No, that shouldn't be it. Above the origin continent were ruins beyond the sky. Ordinary people couldn't reach the ruins beyond the sky. Even he couldn't, because the ruins beyond the sky didn't exist in normal space. The ruins beyond the sky couldn't be pulled down at will. So what did Withering and Flourishing Elder want to pull down? Lin Moyu suddenly thought of a possibility. During the origin catastrophe long ago, since ruins beyond the sky had appeared, many fragments must have also been produced. These fragments drifted chaotically above the origin continent. If something was to be pulled down, it would be these things. Lin Moyu thought of the ice fire seed. Now it seemed, had the ice fire seed truly been something Withering and Flourishing Elder found beyond the sky? Or possibly pulled down? This formation was too vast. Activating it once wasn't easy and would consume endless power. The power of origin spirit veins wasn't infinite either. After one activation, it would take a very long time to recover. So Withering and Flourishing Elder hadn't used this formation initially. Now he was afraid Lin Moyu would escape, so he activated it. A smile appeared at the corner of Lin Moyu's mouth. You think this can trap me? Today I'll let you know what it feels like to lose both the wife and the troops. Lin Moyu multitasked, drawing runes in his soul. At this moment he was flying at high speed. Even he couldn't draw runes in this state. He could only use his soul to draw runes, then bring them out to use. At this moment, Lin Moyu greatly envied the ability to form runes with a thought. This ability was unrelated to realm, requiring sudden enlightenment. With his current ability, he could only form low-level runes with a thought. Higher-level ones weren't possible. Lin Moyu observed the formation on the ground, flying as high as possible to see the formation's patterns. At the same time, he drew complex runes in his soul. Withering and Flourishing Elder was getting closer and closer, rapidly closing the distance with Lin Moyu. 1,000 miles, 800 miles, 500 miles, 100 miles. Finally, when the distance between them was only 100 miles, Withering and Flourishing Elder prepared to attack. At this distance, he was confident enough to kill Lin Moyu. The heavenly punishment fire on his body had finally extinguished, allowing him to attack at full power without restraint. Suddenly, he found Lin Moyu had stopped. Not only stopped, but was smiling at him. Has this fellow gone mad? The thought flashed through Withering and Flourishing Elder's mind. Then he saw an incredibly complex and exquisite rune fly out from Lin Moyu's hand, falling to the ground. Boom! An incredibly powerful force burst out from the ground. The suction instantly became a repulsive force, pushing him back hundreds of miles. This force was so strong that even Withering and Flourishing Elder could hardly resist it. After being pushed back hundreds of miles, Withering and Flourishing Elder looked at Lin Moyu in disbelief. How is this possible? Lin Moyu had actually used his own formation against him. Asterisk 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 asterisk. I will now start translating corruption in the dungeon. Asterisk 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 asterisk. I have completely translated the following books. The 100th Regression of the Max Level Player. Real Life Player. Your Girlfriend Was Amazing. Check them out on my P at TR30N. ko-fi.com/translate-toki only donate if you want to. My Patreon is now up. Go to email protected translate toki. Remove the @ symbol and type a. Chapter 3307, 3307. Chapter 3307, Using the Spirit Plant Rebirth Treasure Ground to Grow Vegetables. Hundreds of miles away, Lin Moyu smiled. Withering and Flourishing Elder, your formation is indeed quite good. But unfortunately, it's a bit too simple. Withering and Flourishing Elder's low voice was squeezed out of his throat. You dare to tamper with this lord's formation. Lin Moyu shook his head. No, from now on, this formation no longer belongs to you. As the words fell, another complex and exquisite rune flew out from Lin Moyu's fingertip, falling into the ground and permeating into the formation. The ground rumbled. The light released by the formation was even more intense than before. Withering and Flourishing Elder's face changed drastically. He found his connection to the formation rapidly weakening. At this rate, he would soon have nothing to do with this formation. Just as Lin Moyu said, this formation no longer belonged to him. The formation he had personally arranged over more than 100 years was actually taken away in such a short time. Withering and Flourishing Elder's anger was beyond words. He was almost ready to attack Lin Moyu at all costs, regardless of the 30% power limit. Lin Moyu sensed Withering and Flourishing Elder's change but paid no mind, sending out rune after rune into the great formation. Withering and Flourishing Elder roared, "Stop! If you don't stop, this lord will." Before he could finish, a vast repulsive force hit him head-on like a heavy punch, sending Withering and Flourishing Elder flying back thousands of miles. The formation could generate huge suction, and could also produce incredibly powerful repulsion. Positive and negative, yin and yang, Lin Moyu could freely convert between them. Lin Moyu gradually took control of the formation. Strong repulsive force spread outward with him at the center. Even with Withering and Flourishing Elder's strength, it was difficult to approach. This formation gathered dozens of large and small origin spirit veins from the 100 Herbs Alliance territory. Its power was unimaginable. Unless Withering and Flourishing Elder used his full power, he had no way to suppress the repulsive force. Withering and Flourishing Elder stabilized himself with difficulty after being pushed back 1,000 miles. He roared, "This lord will definitely kill you." The projection of his true form appeared behind him again. Branches turned into vines, lashing down violently. In an instant, the world was filled with whip shadows. The vines broke through the repulsive force's obstruction, carrying tremendous momentum to whip Lin Moyu into meat paste. Lin Moyu seemed to have anticipated this. His time curse wings vibrated rapidly as he retreated like teleportation. As his figure disappeared, he broke Withering and Flourishing Elder's lock. Only a rune flew out from where he had been, falling into the formation. The formation's power instantly reversed, changing from repulsion to suction. Not good. Withering and Flourishing Elder's face changed, but it was too late. His attack not only missed, but due to the sudden suction force, Withering and Flourishing Elder had no time to withdraw. Countless vines lashed the ground. Mountains collapsed and the earth shattered. Even the formation was damaged. Withering and Flourishing Elder was truly enraged. The power of this strike was at the very limit of his 30%, far surpassing Dao Venerable realm. Though not directly hit, the terrifying residual force still sent Lin Moyu flying uncontrollably for thousands of miles. But as he flew back, Lin Moyu smiled. He wasn't looking at Withering and Flourishing Elder, but at the heavenly punishment fire in the sky. The heavenly punishment fire moved again, even more violently than before. Large amounts of heavenly punishment fire descended, instantly falling on Withering and Flourishing Elder. Withering and Flourishing Elder was once again engulfed in heavenly punishment fire, screaming miserably. With his realm, this level of heavenly punishment fire naturally couldn't burn him to death, but he certainly wouldn't have a good time. After stabilizing himself, Lin Moyu smiled and continued drawing runes. Rune after rune flew out and fell to the ground. His control over the formation grew stronger and stronger. The formation was about to change hands. Withering and Flourishing Elder's 100 years of effort was about to become Lin Moyu's property. From within the flames came Withering and Flourishing Elder's furious roar full of killing intent. Lin Moyu, this lord will never let you go, never. Lin Moyu said with some contempt, you've said this kind of thing so many times. Aren't you tired of it? I'm tired of hearing it. Don't you have any new phrases? How does it feel to make wedding clothes for others? This formation of yours, though a bit broken, still works quite well and covers a large enough area. From now on this formation belongs to me. You can find another place to rebuild the 100 Herbs Alliance. His tone was full of provocation. In fact, Lin Moyu was deliberately provoking Withering and Flourishing Elder. He knew clearly that Withering and Flourishing Elder couldn't kill him now. With this formation in place, for Withering and Flourishing Elder to kill him, he would have to break through the 30% combat power limit. But doing so would bring the Great Tao's punishment. Even if Withering and Flourishing Elder didn't die, he would be severely injured and unable to stay on the origin continent. Moreover, the Beast Emperor would arrive soon. With the Beast Emperor's strength, Withering and Flourishing Elder would have even less chance of killing him. Since that was the case, why fear him? Lin Moyu wanted to enrage him, make him break through the limit, and ultimately have to leave the origin continent, eliminating future troubles. As for killing Withering and Flourishing Elder, Lin Moyu no longer hoped for that. In his confrontation with Withering and Flourishing Elder, he had realized he had underestimated the Great Tao realm. If he wanted to kill Withering and Flourishing Elder, his only option now was to use the Calamity Scepter. But to use the Calamity Scepter to kill someone, he had to get close to Withering and Flourishing Elder, and Withering and Flourishing Elder had to be unable to counterattack, allowing Lin Moyu to attack freely. This was almost impossible. Now his goal was to make Withering and Flourishing Elder leave the origin continent. He had become a thorn in Withering and Flourishing Elder's side, probably his greatest enemy. As long as Withering and Flourishing Elder remained on the origin continent, Lin Moyu would never have peace. If Withering and Flourishing Elder learned of Dao City's existence someday, he would likely attack without hesitation, slaughtering everyone in Dao City inside and out. Lin Moyu believed he was capable of such a thing. After much consideration, forcing Withering and Flourishing Elder to leave the origin continent was the most secure method. Withering and Flourishing Elder kept grunting in the heavenly punishment fire, clearly in great discomfort. But at this moment, Withering and Flourishing Elder didn't speak. Lin Moyu knew clearly, the more silent he was, the more intense his hatred grew. Lin Moyu could clearly sense Withering and Flourishing Elder's killing intent, which had reached its peak. Since that was the case, Lin Moyu wouldn't miss such an opportunity. He continued, once I fully control this formation, what do you think I should do with the 100 Herbs Alliance? Expel them all, or lock them all up. Trap them all so they can't move, then kill them one by one. That seems like a good method too. I hear there's a special treasure ground for spirit plant rebirth in the core area of the 100 Herbs Alliance. I suppose you can't take this place with you. Why don't I help you deal with it? I'm quite interested in this spirit plant rebirth technique. I wonder if it would still work without that treasure ground. As Lin Moyu spoke, he paid attention to Withering and Flourishing Elder's emotional changes. With his extremely keen perception, he could sense even Withering and Flourishing Elder's smallest changes. Lin Moyu found that with each additional sentence he spoke, Withering and Flourishing Elder's killing intent increased a bit. Especially when he mentioned the spirit plant rebirth treasure ground, Withering and Flourishing Elder's killing intent suddenly increased considerably. This showed that the spirit plant rebirth treasure ground was extremely important to Withering and Flourishing Elder. Lin Moyu keenly grasped this point and smiled. I wonder how well it would work if I use the spirit plant rebirth treasure ground to grow vegetables. Maybe I'll find some cows to plow it. Shut up. This old one will kill you. Withering and Flourishing Elder finally broke. Terrifying aura erupted as he instantly manifested his true form, turning into a 10,000-meter giant tree crushing down towards Lin Moyu. Asterisk 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 asterisk. I will now start translating corruption in the dungeon. Asterisk 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 asterisk. I have completely translated the following books. The 100th Regression of the Max Level Player. Real Life Player. Your Girlfriend Was Amazing. Check them out on my P at TR30N. ko-fi.com/translate-toki only donate if you want to. My Patreon is now up. Go to email protected translate toki. Remove the @ symbol and type a. Chapter 3308. 3308. Chapter 3308. If you want to know, strive to become a Tao Lord. Success. Lin Moyu was delighted. Withering and Flourishing Elder had finally broken through the 30% limit on his power, breaking the Great Tao's restriction. The Great Tao would certainly no longer allow him to stay on the Origin Continent. As long as Withering and Flourishing Elder left the Origin Continent, Lin Moyu would have no more future troubles. But now, he had to face Withering and Flourishing Elder attacking with full force in his rage. Facing a Great Tao realm being attacking with full power in his fury, Lin Moyu wouldn't be afraid if it was in the soul world. But in the real world, he simply couldn't withstand it. Withering and Flourishing Elder, wreathed in heavenly punishment fire, attacked. Lin Moyu fully activated the formation, turning it into repulsive force. The seemingly vast repulsive force couldn't stop Withering and Flourishing Elder's attack. The repulsive force was constantly pushed back, booming in the air. Layer upon layer of folds appeared between heaven and earth, then exploded under Withering and Flourishing Elder's attack. The ground shattered. The formation suffered backlash, breaking apart. Withering and Flourishing Elder's formation completely collapsed under his own attack. 100 years of effort shattered in this moment. Withering and Flourishing Elder no longer cared about this. He had gone berserk, now only wanting to kill Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu's soul held the Great Tao Immortality Pill, ready to take it at any time. He wasn't sure if his rebirth could take effect under Withering and Flourishing Elder's attack. Moreover, rebirth was the final bottom line. Better not to use it if possible. This ability was for fighting to the death. As the formation shattered, Lin Moyu knew this strike was unstoppable. He was about to take the last Great Tao Immortality Pill. Suddenly, he stopped. A smile appeared on his face, knowing there was no problem now. A mist appeared beside him, enveloping him. Then his vision blurred, and he had already left Withering and Flourishing Elder's attack range. Withering and Flourishing Elder's attack fell on the ground, completely shattering thousands of miles of land, creating a bottomless pit. This strike was too strong, as if it would shatter the western continent again. Even the origin spirit veins under the ground shattered under this strike. Countless origin chi rushed into the sky. The Great Tao was thoroughly angered, sending down countless heavenly punishment fires to burn Withering and Flourishing Elder. Withering and Flourishing Elder let out miserable screams, heart-rending. Lin Moyu was brought by the Beast Emperor, appearing 10,000 miles away. The terrifying shockwave passed over 10,000 miles, striking him. Lin Moyu felt that just this residual shockwave was enough to kill him. Fortunately, the Beast Emperor was there, blocking all the shockwaves for him. The Beast Emperor was still hidden in the mist. His voice was clearly somewhat shocked. "What did you do? Why has Withering and Flourishing Elder gone mad?" Lin Moyu smiled and said, "I insulted him a few times, and he became like this." The Beast Emperor clearly didn't believe Lin Moyu's words. How could a Great Tao realm being like Withering and Flourishing Elder be driven mad by a few words? Lin Moyu must have done something quite excessive, or said some very excessive words, breaking Withering and Flourishing Elder's bottom line. But now wasn't the time to inquire. Withering and Flourishing Elder, wreathed in heavenly punishment fire, charged over. For a Great Tao realm being, a mere 10,000 miles could be crossed in the blink of an eye. Especially for a Great Tao realm being going all out, 10,000 miles was nothing. Withering and Flourishing Elder appeared before the Beast Emperor and Lin Moyu as if teleporting. Countless vines lashed down again, while at the same time generating boundless suction force to prevent the two from escaping. The Beast Emperor enveloped Lin Moyu in mist, while activating a magical treasure. Space violently shook, a gap appearing. Go! The two entered the spatial gap, instantly leaving. When they appeared again, they were no longer on the western continent. Beneath their feet was the endless boundary sea. Lin Moyu was surprised. The Beast Emperor had actually fled with him. The Beast Emperor said, "Withering and Flourishing Elder has clearly gone mad now. He can't stay on the origin continent for long. Before long he'll be forcibly sent away by the Great Tao." The Beast Emperor's meaning was very clear. Now Withering and Flourishing Elder had gone berserk, no longer caring about anything, attacking with full power. The Beast Emperor didn't want to fight such a Withering and Flourishing Elder. It was meaningless. Lin Moyu asked, "How long can he stay on the origin continent? I see this heavenly punishment fire doesn't seem able to burn him to death." The Beast Emperor said, "Well, heavenly punishment fire is just for punishing great Tao realm beings. It's certainly very painful when burning, but it's not enough to burn a great Tao realm being to death." Lin Moyu made a sound of understanding, "So heavenly punishment fire is just for show." The Beast Emperor denied Lin Moyu's words, "That's not the case. Heavenly punishment fire also has grades. What you see now is just the weakest heavenly punishment fire. If it were more powerful, it could burn a great Tao realm being to death. But that kind of fire rarely appears. You'll naturally know in the future." This emperor is quite interested. "What exactly did you do to make Withering and Flourishing Elder become like this?" Lin Moyu smiled and said, "After Withering and Flourishing Elder leaves, I'll tell you the whole process." The Beast Emperor laughed heartily, "Then this emperor is looking forward to it. It should be an interesting story." Lin Moyu said, "Actually it's nothing much. I was just trying to protect myself. If he hadn't been determined to kill me, I wouldn't have provoked him at all." The Beast Emperor believed these words. No matter how arrogant Lin Moyu was, he wouldn't actively provoke Withering and Flourishing Elder. Most likely Withering and Flourishing Elder had come to hunt and kill him, but ended up having an accident instead. But from this, the Beast Emperor also realized he had underestimated Lin Moyu. Being hunted by Withering and Flourishing Elder, yet able to turn it around and push Withering and Flourishing Elder to this point, among great Tao realm beings, probably no one but Lin Moyu could accomplish this. The Beast Emperor was about to speak when he suddenly said softly, "He's chasing over." As he spoke, the Beast Emperor activated that magical treasure again, opening a spatial gap. The two stepped in, leaving again. But Withering and Flourishing Elder had no intention of letting Lin Moyu go, still relentlessly chasing after them. The Beast Emperor didn't want to fight Withering and Flourishing Elder, choosing to avoid him again and again. This repeated 5 times before the Beast Emperor looked up at the sky. "Time's up." A brilliant Great Tao appeared in the sky. This Great Tao was different from others. It emitted an incomparably noble aura, high above, its nobility indescribable in words. But looking a second time, this Great Tao had disappeared again, as if it had been an illusion just now. Then a mysterious aura descended. Lin Moyu had felt this kind of aura before. Back then in the sea race, when he had rescued Old Whale, a similar aura had descended when Old Whale left. The Beast Emperor said, "The Great Tao has come to take someone. I wonder if this fellow will obediently go back." Lin Moyu asked, "What if Withering and Flourishing Elder refuses to go back?" The Beast Emperor let out a light laugh, "Refuse to go back? Then he doesn't need to go back. Unless he wants to die, then he can refuse to go back. What do you think this is? This is the Great Tao. Even Great Tao realm beings can't defy the Great Tao. These are the rules." Lin Moyu pursued the question, "Who made these rules?" The Beast Emperor chuckled, "How would I know who made them? If you want to know, then strive to become a Tao Lord. Only Tao Lords can stand as equals with the Great Tao and have the right to know these things." The Beast Emperor's words carried a hint of envy. He also greatly envied existences at the Tao Lord level. A beam of light fell from the sky, landing on Withering and Flourishing Elder with perfect accuracy. Withering and Flourishing Elder was still wreathed in flames at this time, still somewhat crazed. But under the illumination of the Great Tao's light, Withering and Flourishing Elder began to calm down. He didn't resist the Great Tao, gradually rising into the sky along with the Great Tao's light. Asterisk 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 asterisk. I will now start translating corruption in the dungeon. Asterisk 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 asterisk. I have completely translated the following books. The 100th Regression of the Max Level Player. Real Life Player. Your Girlfriend Was Amazing. Check them out on my P at TR30N. ko-fi.com/translate-toki only donate if you want to. My P at Trian is now up. Go to email protected translate toki. Remove the at symbol and type a. Chapter 3309, 3309. Chapter 3309. Friend Lin, do you have any plans? Within the great Tao's light, the heavenly punishment fire on Withering and Flourishing Elder gradually extinguished. Lin Moyu could sense Withering and Flourishing Elder staring intently at him, wanting to firmly remember him. The Beast Emperor said, "It seems he has truly remembered you. If you become a great Tao realm being in the future, you should be careful." Lin Moyu smiled, "No matter. If he still can't let it go, then I'll just kill him." Lin Moyu seemed to speak casually, but to the Beast Emperor's ears, it was not so simple. He felt Lin Moyu spoke very seriously, seriously enough to be somewhat frightening. He believed that with Lin Moyu's abilities, if he truly reached the Great Tao realm, he could absolutely kill Withering and Flourishing Elder. Watching Withering and Flourishing Elder depart, the Beast Emperor sighed, countless years of effort, all ending in failure. Lin Moyu asked, "Elder Beast Emperor, what exactly are you staying on the Origin Continent for?" The Beast Emperor said, "We didn't stay here, but tried every means to come here. As for why, you'll naturally know in the future. But I can tell you, myself, the three ancestors, and that one in the Boundary Sea, though our methods differ, our goal is the same." Lin Moyu grasped the key point in the Beast Emperor's words. They hadn't stayed on the Origin Continent, but had tried every means to enter it. Clearly, it wasn't easy for them to enter the Origin Continent. They must have paid a great price. It made sense. If it were so easy to enter the Origin Continent, there would certainly be more Great Tao realm beings coming in. As for their purpose on the Origin Continent, it wasn't actually important to Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu knew clearly they wouldn't do anything harmful to the Origin Continent. Because that would bring the Great Tao's punishment, which even they couldn't withstand. The several of them had stayed on the Origin Continent for who knows how many years, preparing for how many years, all for the same purpose. Unfortunately, now Withering and Flourishing Elder had made a mistake and was driven away by the Great Tao. It was indeed quite depressing. Lin Moyu would naturally be resented. Withering and Flourishing Elder certainly wouldn't let him go. But looking at Lin Moyu's manner, he wasn't afraid at all. On the contrary, he was thinking of killing Withering and Flourishing Elder. The Beast Emperor couldn't help but sigh for Withering and Flourishing Elder, wishing him good fortune. After Withering and Flourishing Elder left, the Beast Emperor smiled and said, "Now can you tell me?" Lin Moyu said, "It's a long story. Let's talk as we go. By the way, you can also tell me what's so amazing about the Spirit Plant Rebirth Treasure Ground." On the way back, Lin Moyu roughly explained the whole process. He started from the destruction of the Netherworld race, but omitted some information about the Netherworld Black Pool, only saying he had obtained 2 hell fragments. Adding that he already had a grudge with the Netherworld race, and they attacked him en masse, so he wiped them out in passing. The life or death of the Netherworld race meant nothing in the Beast Emperor's eyes. He didn't care at all. What the Beast Emperor cared more about was how Lin Moyu had held on until he arrived after being discovered by Withering and Flourishing Elder. Though he had hurried over at top speed, it still took nearly an hour. During this time, what exactly had Lin Moyu done? Not only was Lin Moyu unharmed, but Withering and Flourishing Elder was in a worse state. When Lin Moyu explained the whole process, the Beast Emperor listened in amazement. What Lin Moyu had done was unimaginable to him. He had fully utilized almost everything that could be used, turning each unfavorable condition into a favorable one. The Beast Emperor put himself in that situation and found he couldn't have done things to that degree like Lin Moyu. Especially at the end, luring Withering and Flourishing Elder to attack and damage the Origin continent, bringing down heavenly punishment fire, then using words to enrage Withering and Flourishing Elder, making him unleash his full power, ultimately causing Withering and Flourishing Elder to be driven away by the Great Tao. These things sounded not difficult when Lin Moyu said them, but were actually ridiculously hard. No one else could have done it. Thinking back now, Lin Moyu had actually been prepared to face Withering and Flourishing Elder from the very beginning. The Beast Emperor said, there was a process from Withering and Flourishing Elder losing his reason and attacking you with full force until he was driven away by the Great Tao. Did you consider how to deal with it if I hadn't arrived in time? Lin Moyu smiled carefreely. Didn't I still have a Great Tao immortality pill? I could have held on for a while at least. Moreover, I believed in Elder Beast Emperor. You would certainly arrive in time, early rather than late. The Beast Emperor smiled. I didn't expect you to have such confidence in me. Lin Moyu said very affirmatively, of course. Though Lin's realm is low, my judgment isn't bad. I have a good sense of what kind of person Elder Beast Emperor is. This flattery made the Beast Emperor quite pleased. Indeed, what this Emperor promises, he will certainly accomplish. Lin Moyu timely ended this topic. Elder Beast Emperor, if possible, can you tell me about the Spirit Plant Rebirth Treasure Ground? Obviously, what Withering and Flourishing Elder cared about most was that Spirit Plant Rebirth Treasure Ground. Previously, he had successfully enraged him using the Spirit Plant Rebirth Treasure Ground as an excuse. The Beast Emperor chuckled. That Spirit Plant Rebirth Treasure Ground actually has some background. It's not something from the Origin continent. Lin Moyu showed a strange expression. Not from the Origin continent. Could it be? He thought of the formation in the 100 Herbs Alliance territory. If it wasn't from the Origin continent, then it might be from beyond the sky. The Beast Emperor said, your guess is correct. That treasure ground was indeed pulled down from beyond the sky through the formation. I don't know which Great Tao realm expert this treasure ground originally belonged to before falling into Withering and Flourishing Elder's hands. Withering and Flourishing Elder obtained the Spirit Plant Rebirth method from the treasure ground, so he passed down the Spirit Plant Rebirth method. But he made some modifications, making the Spirit Plant Rebirth method serve himself. Now that he's gone, this Spirit Plant Rebirth method is also useless. In the future, those Plant and Wood Tao Venerables can no longer rely on this method for unlimited rebirth. After the Beast Emperor's explanation, Lin Moyu learned that the Spirit Plant Rebirth method, including the required treasure ground, truly came from beyond the sky. Lin Moyu said, besides using it for Spirit Plant Rebirth, does that treasure ground have any other uses? The Beast Emperor said, it's somewhat useful for plant-based lifeforms, but not much use for others. Friend Lin can take it away. Perhaps when you become a Great Tao realm being in the future, you can sell it to those fellows. You can also sell it to the three ancestors. The three ancestors will certainly offer a good price. In the Great Taos beyond the sky, there were no small number of plant-based Great Tao realm beings. Good things could be exchanged from them using the treasure ground. This time Withering and Flourishing Elder left in such a hurry that he didn't even have time to take this treasure ground. It shows how close to madness he was at the time. Lin Moyu said, over so many years, Withering and Flourishing Elder must have obtained quite a few good things from beyond the sky, right? The Beast Emperor said, there are indeed many good things beyond the sky, but they can't be obtained casually. That fellow would activate the Great Formation once every few hundred years, but most times there was no gain at all. Actually, the three ancestors gained more. The three ancestors can personally go to the ruins beyond the sky, which is better than blindly activating the formation like him. Lin Moyu was slightly stunned. Withering and Flourishing Elder can't go to the ruins beyond the sky. The Beast Emperor said, of course he can go, but it's very troublesome to go once, and the price paid is not small. He's not like the three ancestors. The three ancestors have a treasure that makes going beyond the sky relatively simple. Lin Moyu chuckled, what about you? The Beast Emperor laughed heartily, this emperor can naturally go too. You'll understand in the future. Alright, another sentence dismissing him. Lin Moyu couldn't be bothered to pursue the question. The two quickly approached the western continent. The Beast Emperor asked, now that Withering and Flourishing Elder has left, the 100 Herbs Alliance territory is empty. Adding the Netherworld race's territory, does friend Lin have any plans? Asterisk 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 asterisk. I will now start translating corruption in the dungeon. Asterisk 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 asterisk. I have completely translated the following books. The 100th Regression of the Max Level Player. Real Life Player. Your Girlfriend Was Amazing. Check them out on my P at TR30N. ko-fi.com/translate-toki only donate if you want to. My Patreon is now up. Go to email protected translate toki. Remove the @ symbol and type a. Chapter 3310, 3310. Chapter 3310, this emperor will give you some advice. The Netherworld race's territory wasn't large, but the 100 Herbs Alliance's territory was not small. These two territories combined were much larger than Dao City. The Beast Emperor continued, these two areas are now unclaimed. Friend Lin, you know that occupying territory is actually very important on the origin continent. You shouldn't waste this opportunity. There seemed to be deeper meaning in his words. Lin Moyu immediately asked humbly, please enlighten me, Elder Beast Emperor. The Beast Emperor said, there are some things I can't say too explicitly. With your intelligence, you should understand this emperor's meaning. Lin Moyu immediately had some understanding. Occupying territory seemed very important. The Beast Emperor occupied an enormous territory. Though the entire northern continent didn't completely belong to him, it was still his domain. The three ancestors were the same. They occupied a large area in the eastern continent, and also had forces in various continents. Though they didn't seem to be the dominant force everywhere, when adding up the Lufeng Chamber of Commerce's territory, the area the three ancestors occupied was no less than the Beast Emperor's. As for the King of the Boundary Sea, there was no need to mention. How large was the entire Boundary Sea, how vast was that territory, far surpassing the Beast Emperor and three ancestors. Antares, becoming the new emperor of the Eastern Spirit Empire, also secretly occupied a large territory. These great Dao realm beings certainly knew some information, which is why they did this. With the Beast Emperor's reminder, Lin Moyu naturally understood what he should do. Lin Moyu said, there are quite a few Dao Venerables in the 100 Herbs Alliance. The Beast Emperor smiled and said, what do you want to do? If you need help, this emperor can assist you, but it won't be free. Lin Moyu laughed heartily, of course. Junior is already very grateful that Elder Beast Emperor could come. For the following matters, Junior will naturally pay compensation. Lin Moyu expressed his thoughts, then Junior will speak directly. First, I trouble Elder Beast Emperor to kill Withering and Flourishing Elder's Thorn Avatar and bring its corpse to Junior. Second, gather all the Dao Venerables of 7th level and above from the 100 Herbs Alliance. Withering and Flourishing Elder had left, but his avatar was still here. The Thorn Avatar had fled somewhere, but Supu was in constant pursuit. It couldn't escape. As for the Dao Venerables in the 100 Herbs Alliance, the undead army was conducting a carpet search. They also couldn't escape. Lin Moyu could easily handle those below 7th level Dao Venerable himself. He didn't need the Beast Emperor's help. For 7th level and above, the Beast Emperor would control them and bring them. The Beast Emperor didn't ask at all what Lin Moyu planned to do. He first did as Lin Moyu instructed. He also didn't ask about compensation. He believed Lin Moyu would certainly give him reasonable payment. Lin Moyu guided the Beast Emperor in direction, quickly catching up to the Thorn Avatar still entangled with Supu. Though the Thorn Avatar was strong, it was no match at all against the Beast Emperor. In just a few moves, the Thorn Avatar was killed. Lin Moyu took away the Thorn Avatar's corpse, then together with the Beast Emperor, subdued the Dao Venerables of 7th level and above in the 100 Herbs Alliance one by one, gathering them in one place. This matter wasn't difficult for the Beast Emperor, just took some effort. The 100 Herbs Alliance was not weak. There were over 300 7th level Dao Venerable members, over 78th level, and a full 10 9th level. They had various forms, not all plants. There were also a few spirit beasts. The strangest one was a half-insect half-plant being, with half its body insect and half-plant. They were all injured by the Beast Emperor, forced to gather in one place in a dispirited state. Lin Moyu had them wait. After a short while, dark clouds flew over from the distance. The dark clouds were a vast expanse, each cloud an innumerable undead army. The legion commanders controlled the undead armies, bringing the Tao Venerables below 7th level. If any resisted, they would be subdued by force. If force couldn't subdue them, they would be killed. Lin Moyu didn't intend to kill them all, but if they resisted, he wouldn't show any mercy. In just 5 days, all the surviving Tao Venerables in the 100 Herbs Alliance had been gathered together. Lin Moyu looked down at these Tao Venerables from above. I give you 2 paths. 1 is to live, 2 is to die. Those who choose to live will swear a great Tao oath to never be my enemy. I will choose an area for you where you can continue to survive and multiply. Those who choose to die, that's even simpler. I will personally send you on your way. But I want to make it clear, if any of you choose death, I won't just kill one person, but your entire lineage. Lin Moyu's voice was like a merciless demon, reverberating in all the Tao Venerables' souls. Many of the Tao Venerables present were leaders of their clans. Especially those 7th level and above all had a vast lineage behind them. Plants and trees that had gained sentience and become Tao Venerables all valued their lineages highly and were very united. Lin Moyu's conditions left them almost no choice. Even the Beast Emperor had to inwardly praise Lin Moyu for grasping the 100 Herbs Alliance Tao Venerables so precisely. It seemed like 2 choices, but was actually only 1 choice. Either swear a great Tao oath and live, or face clan extinction. Obviously Lin Moyu had overestimated the Tao Venerables' loyalty to Withering and Flourishing Elder. Learning that Withering and Flourishing Elder couldn't return, they decisively chose to live. One by one, the Tao Venerables swore great Tao oaths, and even engraved the oaths into their bloodline inheritance. This was equivalent to their entire clan swearing the oath. Lin Moyu projected a map of the western continent, then drew out an area on the map. This area was located between the 100 Herbs Alliance and the insect race, a long narrow region. This area was naturally not as good as the 100 Herbs Alliance's former territory, only about 1/5 of before, but it was enough for these plants and trees to live. Plants and trees that had gained sentience originally didn't have high requirements for territory. The key was that after having this area, once Lin Moyu occupied this territory, it would create a buffer between him and the insect race. If the insect race wanted to provoke Lin Moyu, they would first have to get past the plant and tree Tao Venerables. The Beast Emperor watched Lin Moyu's arrangements. Though he said nothing, he felt Lin Moyu had arranged things very well. After making the arrangements, Lin Moyu said to the Beast Emperor, Elder Beast Emperor, do you think my arrangements are all right? The Beast Emperor chuckled lightly, completely fine. Your arrangements are very good. Lin Moyu nodded and said loudly, then so be it. You have 10 days to start moving. As the words fell, all the plant and tree Tao Venerables quickly took action. With rumbling sounds from the earth, the plant and tree Tao Venerables swiftly departed, beginning to move their entire clans. 10 days was enough time for them to move. After 10 days, 4/5 of the original 100 Herbs Alliance territory, plus the Netherworld race's territory, would all belong to Lin Moyu. The territory Lin Moyu now occupied was actually on par with what Withering and Flourishing Elder had occupied before. After all the Tao Venerables left, the Beast Emperor asked, how does friend Lin plan to handle his territory? Lin Moyu said, I haven't thought it through yet. Please give me some advice, Elder Beast Emperor. As he spoke, Lin Moyu took out 2 ice-fire Tao stones and handed them to the Beast Emperor. The Beast Emperor was clearly somewhat surprised, so polite. Lin Moyu smiled and said, Elder Beast Emperor came from afar to save Junior, and even helped Junior kill people and find people. This compensation is what Elder deserves. The Beast Emperor chuckled, then this Emperor won't be polite. As for how you should develop this territory, this Emperor will give you some advice. Asterisk 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 asterisk. I will now start translating corruption in the dungeon. Asterisk 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 asterisk. I have completely translated the following books. The 100th Regression of the Max Level Player. Real Life Player. Your Girlfriend Was Amazing. Check them out on my P at TR30N. ko-fi.com/translate-toki only donate if you want to. My P at Trian is now up. Go to email protected translate toki. Remove the at symbol and type a. Chapter 3311, 3211. Chapter 3311, How About Building an Undead Empire. The Beast Emperor, like the three ancestors, was old and experienced. Lin Moyu was sufficiently polite, so the Beast Emperor naturally wouldn't be stingy. Moreover, the Beast Emperor saw Lin Moyu's potential. People like Lin Moyu were rare, with only a few appearing in an entire era. The future achievements of such people were immeasurable. If you can't kill someone, it's better to befriend them. The Beast Emperor said, generally speaking, there are several ways to handle your own territory. The most common way is to do as I have done. Establish a force, with you as the king of this force. Another way is like the three ancestors, infiltrating from various aspects. Actually, the Lufeng Chamber of Commerce isn't as simple as you think. Those things the three ancestors do. At this point, the Beast Emperor smiled mysteriously and didn't continue. Lin Moyu heard the implication. Besides the overt Lufeng Chamber of Commerce, the three ancestors' forces must have hidden parts. This also fit Lin Moyu's impression of the three ancestors. They were indeed very likely to do such things. It's possible that the forces hidden in the dark were even more terrifying than the Lufeng Chamber of Commerce. Lin Moyu asked, besides these, are there any others? The Beast Emperor chuckled, apart from the methods of myself and the three ancestors, there's also ruling like that one in the Boundary Sea. However, he has unique advantages that others can't imitate. If you think about it, you should be able to understand the reasons. Lin Moyu's thoughts raced, and he instantly understood the differences. The king of the Boundary Sea's biggest advantage was his absolute control over the sea race. This was different from the Beast Emperor. Under the Beast Emperor were various royal clans and numerous beast race lineages. Each lineage had its own system, its own living habits, cultivation methods, and ancestors. And their ancestors might be stronger than the Beast Emperor. If an ancestor were to revive one day, the Beast Emperor's ruling position could be weakened. But the sea race was completely different. There were no lineages in the sea race. Everyone obeyed the king of the Boundary Sea's orders. The king of the Boundary Sea had true absolute power, his word was law. The Beast Emperor said, of the three methods, the three ancestors' method isn't suitable for you. You can choose between the other two. Lin Moyu said, thank you for your guidance, Elder Beast Emperor. I'll think it over carefully before deciding. The Beast Emperor chuckled, there's no rush for this matter. You have plenty of time. Come, let's go see how many good things that old fellow Withering and Flourishing has collected over the years. The Beast Emperor led Lin Moyu towards Withering and Flourishing Elder's lair. On the way, Lin Moyu pondered how to handle his new territory. From the Beast Emperor's words, Lin Moyu could be certain that the amount of territory occupied was very important. As for where the importance lay, the Beast Emperor didn't say and Lin Moyu couldn't guess, but he could be sure it was certainly very important. So this territory absolutely couldn't be given to others. It must be controlled by himself. The several origin spirit veins under the territory must also be controlled by him. At first, he had thought about moving Dao City here, but now, after hearing the Beast Emperor's words, Lin Moyu decisively abandoned this idea. Dao City was developing well in the eastern continent for now. It didn't need to be moved yet. Moreover, Dao City already had the Lufeng Chamber of Commerce, which meant the three ancestors' forces had already infiltrated. This wasn't necessarily a bad thing, but it meant Dao City was no longer completely his own territory. He needed to share a piece of the pie. The three ancestors had always done things this way. There were no major problems. Lin Moyu had never thought of monopolizing it himself. That would only slow Dao City's development. But for this new land, Lin Moyu didn't plan to let the three ancestors get involved. He decided to occupy it himself. Lin Moyu thought of the simplest method, to build this area into his undead empire. The king of the Boundary Sea controlled the entire sea race, but each member still had their own thoughts. They might even wonder if the king of the Boundary Sea's actions were correct. In terms of control, even the king of the Boundary Sea was far inferior to his own undead legions. The legion commanders also had intelligence, but they would never question whether his orders were correct. As long as it was an order he gave, even if it was wrong, even if it meant going to their deaths, they would do it without hesitation. This way, the territory would be his alone. If there were any benefits in the future, they would be maximized. The Beast Emperor had clearly dealt with Withering and Flourishing Elder before. He went straight to Withering and Flourishing Elder's lair. This was a huge valley, surrounded by 3 mountains, with only one entrance. The Beast Emperor said, "Withering and Flourishing's lair is inside. This fellow has arranged several formations here. It's always troublesome to come here." Lin Moyu smiled and said, "You've come many times." The Beast Emperor said, "I don't get along with this fellow. I have indeed come a few times, but usually I call him out to talk. There are too many formations here. I don't want to go in." Call him out to talk. It was probably to fight. Lin Moyu could see there were indeed many formations here. And the formations were very ancient, carrying an archaic aura. It was clear that Withering and Flourishing Elder had indeed studied formations extensively. The Beast Emperor said, "Can you handle it?" The Beast Emperor didn't understand formations well. If he were to do it, he would probably just force his way through. Lin Moyu smiled and said, "Let me do it. Some of the formations here will self-destruct. If we force our way through, we might damage the things inside." From these formations, one could roughly judge Withering and Flourishing Elder's level in formations. It probably hadn't reached 7th grade. He wasn't a very powerful formation master. The only advantage was that the formations he arranged were very ancient, with some research value. The Beast Emperor said, "All right, then you do it. That old fellow Withering and Flourishing, his formation skills are actually mediocre, but he especially likes to tinker with this stuff. He's researched for so many years without much progress." Lin Moyu heard the disdain in the Beast Emperor's words. He smiled and said, "Formations require high talent. Sometimes, if you don't understand, you just don't understand. There's no helping it." The Beast Emperor deeply agreed. Despite his high realm, he just didn't understand much about formations. He could figure out those 3rd grade and below formations, but not really anything above 3rd grade. The formations Withering and Flourishing Elder had arranged here were partly for warning purposes. Lin Moyu guessed that Withering and Flourishing Elder didn't want to be disturbed. In case he was doing something, he could be warned in advance. But there was one thing Lin Moyu didn't quite understand. Formations of this level couldn't stop the Beast Emperor at all. But the Beast Emperor was clearly wary and didn't really want to force his way through. Perhaps there were some hidden things within the formations. The Beast Emperor warned, "Be careful when breaking the formations. There's a soul-devouring bug hidden in one of the formations. Soul-devouring bugs can cause significant damage to the soul. Even I find them troublesome." While studying the formations, Lin Moyu asked, "What are soul-devouring bugs?" The Beast Emperor said, "Soul-devouring bugs are a strange type of insect. Withering and Flourishing pulled them down from beyond the sky once. They're quite troublesome. They can immune most powers. Once bitten by one, your soul will be damaged and it's hard to recover." Lin Moyu heard the Beast Emperor's wariness. If soul-devouring bugs are so troublesome, why didn't Withering and Flourishing Elder use them? The Beast Emperor chuckled. It's not that he didn't want to use them. He couldn't use them. He's also afraid of soul-devouring bugs. He could only trap them in formations to act as guardians. Asterisk 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 asterisk. I have completely translated the following books. Corruption in the Dungeon, The 100th Regression of the Max Level Player. Real Life Player, Your Girlfriend Was Amazing. Check them out on my P at TR30N. ko-fi.com/translate-toki only donate if you want to. My Patreon is now up. Go to email protected translate toki. Remove the @ symbol and type a. Chapter 3312, 3312. Chapter 3312, The Great Karma Between the Buddhist and Insect Races. It turned out that it wasn't that withering and flourishing elder didn't want to use the soul-devouring bug, but that even he feared it. Lin Moyu became even more cautious. Originally, these formations weren't particularly difficult for him, just ancient enough to have some research value. Now, he became more careful, and his speed in breaking the formations slowed significantly. It was fine to go slower, but nothing could go wrong. The fact that the soul-devouring bug could be trapped in a formation indicated that its raw power wasn't very strong. The real trouble with the soul-devouring bug lay elsewhere. First, it was immune to various attacks. Second, it could directly harm the soul, ignoring physical defenses. Even innate souls of great Tao realm beings couldn't defend against it. This characteristic made even the Beast Emperor wary. Lin Moyu asked the Beast Emperor where the soul-devouring bug came from. The Beast Emperor's answer surprised Lin Moyu. He didn't know where the soul-devouring bug originated. This also suggested one thing: the soul-devouring bug wasn't a product of the origin continent. Back during the origin catastrophe, the soul-devouring bug only appeared much later. Lin Moyu could only speculate whether it came from another world. As Lin Moyu unraveled the formations, he continued chatting with the Beast Emperor. Talking with the Beast Emperor was far better than dealing with the sly three ancestors. From the Beast Emperor, Lin Moyu could gain a lot of information. And this information was something the three ancestors wouldn't share. Even if they did, it would come at a price. That's how businessmen were. Everything was about money. Now that Lin Moyu had occupied a large piece of land in the western continent, in terms of territory size, it was no less than that of the dragon or insect races and only slightly smaller than that of the Buddhist race. It could be considered one of four major powers. As for the remaining Tao Venerables in the 100 Herbs Alliance, while their combat power wasn't weak, they no longer had any territory. Neither the dragon race nor the insect race were easy to deal with. Now that he had become one of the four major powers in the western continent, Lin Moyu naturally needed to understand more about the other three powers. Previously, his understanding of the Buddhist, dragon, and insect races all came from information provided by the three ancestors. This time was a good opportunity to ask the Beast Emperor and see his perspective. By cross-referencing information, he could get more accurate insights. The Beast Emperor didn't hold back. He spoke as if chatting with an old friend, sharing what he knew. The Buddhist and insect races were indeed not native to the origin continent. To be precise, while Buddhist traditions didn't originate from the origin continent, its people were natives of this land. So technically, they could be considered half-native to the origin continent. The insect race, however, had no connection to the origin continent. They came from elsewhere entirely. Lin Moyu was puzzled by this. The dragon race is native to the origin continent and so powerful. Why didn't they wipe out the insect race? I think they should have had that ability. The dragon and insect races seemed like mortal enemies. Yet for some reason, the dragon race hadn't eradicated them completely. This didn't make sense. The Beast Emperor said, "It's not that they don't want to, it's that they can't." The root of this issue runs deep. It involves not only the origin catastrophe but also touches on matters of the Great Tao. Even this emperor only knows a fraction of it. Even if I wanted to tell you, it might not be accurate. You can think of it this way. Both the Buddhist and insect races carry immense karma so great that even the entire dragon race cannot bear it. So while they have enmity with the insect race, they've never considered wiping them out. Lin Moyu instinctively asked, "Then does their conflict serve to suppress the insect race?" The Beast Emperor said, "Possibly. For more detailed information, perhaps only those in the dragon race know." When I say dragon race, I don't mean those in this continent but those above. The dragons in realms beyond were truly in charge. The dragons on this continent followed their orders. However, under normal circumstances, dragons from realms beyond wouldn't interfere with those on this continent. Presumably, not eradicating the insect race was an order left from long ago. As for why there was such immense karma between the Buddhist and insect races or what exactly it entailed, the Beast Emperor wasn't clear on that either. This was yet another mystery for Lin Moyu to unravel in time. However, Lin Moyu felt fortunate he hadn't made a mistake earlier. At one point, he had considered turning the insect race into food for his skeleton hell to enhance its power. Fortunately, he hadn't done so. Karma was something to be cautious of. Buddha getting too entangled in it wouldn't do him any good. If unlucky enough, some karma could even cost lives. After breaking several formations without finding any sign of a soul-devouring bug, Lin Moyu laughed and said, "Withering and Flourishing Elder seems quite interested in formations. But knowing his talent isn't great in this area, why did he delve into formations so deeply?" The Beast Emperor said, "This emperor doesn't know either. I remember he wasn't initially focused on formations, and this seems to have started in recent hundreds of thousands of years. Withering and Flourishing Elder had come to the origin continent long ago. Starting his study of formations hundreds of thousands of years ago and persisting for so long likely wasn't out of mere curiosity." Lin Moyu understood well that someone like Withering and Flourishing Elder, a great Tao realm being, wouldn't do anything without purpose. Spending hundreds of thousands of years studying formations despite lacking talent and reaching nearly 7th grade proficiency must have been for a reason. After breaking another formation, Lin Moyu suddenly stopped and said, "I found a soul-devouring bug." The Beast Emperor asked, "Is it in one of these formations ahead?" Unlike Lin Moyu, who could see through formations to spot soul-devouring bugs directly, Lin Moyu projected an image. "Is this it?" In his projection appeared a plump bug glowing red, a peculiar red resembling blood but not quite. At first glance, it seemed vibrant yet carried an underlying sense of danger. Half its head was retracted into its body. It had 3 pairs of sharp claws gleaming coldly under light. Its vibrant red carapace had a small gap down its middle, indicating movable wings beneath it. Upon seeing this image, the Beast Emperor immediately confirmed, "Yes. That's it. Judging by its appearance, it seems dormant. Is there any way not to wake it? If awakened, it'll attack everyone nearby. I'm not afraid, but souls below 7th level Tao Venerable would likely perish after just 2 or 3 bites." What he described sounded terrifying, as 7th level Tao Venerable souls were already strong but couldn't withstand even 2 or 3 bites from this creature. Lin Moyu didn't doubt him at all. "Isn't there any way to kill this thing?" The Beast Emperor said, "It's hard. It can immune most great Tao powers, only specific ones can kill it. But each soul-devouring bug fears different great Tao powers, and I don't know which one scares this particular bug. I also don't know how Withering and Flourishing managed to trap Ida. I have some admiration for him there." His tone seemed genuinely impressive. It was clear dealing with such creatures caused him significant trouble too. Lin Moyu noticed something peculiar about how Withering handled things here. Withering hasn't actually trapped Ida, he's just kept it dormant. If disturbed externally, it'll wake up. If it's as terrifying as Usaya, a single awakening would render these formations useless against containing such power. This formation connects throughout this valley, forcing entry elsewhere would trigger self-destruction across all points, awaking everything within, including our sleeping friend here. Given such risks, breaking through forcefully wasn't an option anymore. The Beast Emperor's voice grew serious again. "Do you have any ideas?" Lin Moyu replied calmly, "Let me think. Asterisk 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 asterisk. I have completely translated the following books. Corruption in the Dungeon, The 100th Regression of the Max Level Player. Real Life Player, Your Girlfriend Was Amazing. Check them out on my P at TR30N. ko-fi.com/translate-toki. Only donate if you want to. My P at Trian is now up. Go to email protected translate toki. Remove the @ symbol and type a. Chapter 3313, 3313. Chapter 3313, This Emperor Never Lets His Guard Down. Lin Moyu didn't act immediately, but carefully observed the soul-devouring bug. The Beast Emperor didn't rush him either, knowing it couldn't be hurried. Lin Moyu could clearly sense that the Beast Emperor was a bit nervous at this moment. It was interesting that a mere soul-devouring bug could make a great Tao realm being like the Beast Emperor nervous. Lin Moyu looked carefully at the soul-devouring bug through the formation, while also sensing the aura around it. He used his eyes to look and his soul to sense, trying to obtain as much detailed information as possible. Gradually, Lin Moyu's brow furrowed. As Lin Moyu frowned, the Beast Emperor's aura also changed, becoming more tense. Why does this soul-devouring bug have the aura of the soul void on it? Could it be from the soul void? Lin Moyu had fortunately encountered a powerful being from the soul void before, leaving a deep impression. He sensed a similar aura on the soul-devouring bug. Though he had some guesses, he couldn't be completely certain. As he continued observing, he made new discoveries. The soul-devouring bug also had some characteristics of the insect race. They were both insects, so there were some similarities. The insect race's characteristics were special, completely different from other insects on the origin continent. The appearance of insect race characteristics on the soul-devouring bug was intriguing. It wasn't just related to the soul void, but also to the insect race. Lin Moyu observed for quite a while without taking action. The Beast Emperor finally couldn't help asking, "Friend Lin, have you discovered anything?" Lin Moyu said, "Indeed, I've made some discoveries. The origins of the soul-devouring bug should be related to the soul void." The Beast Emperor was somewhat surprised. "Really? How did it get connected to the soul void?" Lin Moyu said, "This is just a feeling I have. I recently encountered a being from the soul void, leaving a deep impression, so I shouldn't be mistaken." The Beast Emperor exclaimed in surprise, "You actually fought with a being from the soul void?" Lin Moyu nodded. "It was just a trace of their will, not a real fight. But they were indeed very strong. I was almost killed." The Beast Emperor's voice was full of wariness. "That's the soul void. Even this emperor wouldn't dare to go there. Friend Lin, your courage is truly admirable." Lin Moyu gave a bitter laugh. "Don't tease me. They came after me, I didn't go looking for them. I haven't lived enough yet, I'm not that eager to die." Putting aside the matter of the soul void, the Beast Emperor asked, "Besides this, has friend Lin thought of any methods?" Lin Moyu said, "It's almost impossible to remove the formation or transfer it without alerting it. This formation is connected as one with the other formations in the valley. Pull one thread and the whole fabric moves. I've found over 100 entrances and exits, only one of which is correct. The rest are wrong. And only Withering and Flourishing Elder knows which entrance is correct. Even I can't find it. If we choose the wrong entrance, the formation will collapse instantly and the soul-devouring bug will awaken. So the best method is to kill it." The Beast Emperor said, "How to kill it? Its strength isn't actually that great. The key is finding the great Tao power that can deal with it. If we can find that, even a 4th level Tao Venerable could kill it." This was the difficulty in killing the soul-devouring bug, finding the great Tao power it couldn't immune. Once the right power was found, killing it wouldn't be hard. If not found, even the Beast Emperor couldn't kill it. There were countless types of great Tao powers. They couldn't try them one by one. The soul-devouring bug wasn't a target, sitting there motionless. Lin Moyu thought for a moment, if it's really related to the soul void, I might have a way to deal with it. But I'm not certain. We can only try. The Beast Emperor considered, "That's too risky." Lin Moyu said, "It is indeed somewhat risky, so I need to make some preparations. If I fail, I can at least buy you some time." The Beast Emperor wasn't an indecisive person. After thinking for a few seconds, he made a decision. "In that case, this emperor will risk his life alongside you. Friend Lin, you try first. If it doesn't work, this emperor will use various methods and definitely kill this bug." Lin Moyu suddenly laughed. "Elder Beast Emperor, why do I hear a lack of confidence in your words?" The Beast Emperor laughed and scolded, "Nonsense, how could there be confidence? This emperor has dozens of magical treasures that can unleash dozens of great Tao powers. As long as one of them works, we can kill this bug." Lin Moyu praised, "The Beast Emperor is indeed wealthy." The Beast Emperor said, "Enough talk. Do as you planned." Lin Moyu nodded and took out several origin crystals to start arranging a formation. The formation he arranged was a sealing array, the strongest containment formation Lin Moyu could think of. He used 9th grade premium origin crystals given by the dragon race, using the best materials to enhance the sealing array's effect to the limit. By Lin Moyu's estimate, this sealing array's power wouldn't be weaker than those 8th grade formations. Seeing the 9th grade origin crystals, the Beast Emperor exclaimed in surprise, "9th grade premium origin crystals, friend Lin is really generous." Even for him, 9th grade premium origin crystals weren't something he could just take out casually. Lin Moyu said, "I was lucky and obtained them by chance." The Beast Emperor didn't believe Lin Moyu's words. How could these be obtained just by luck? Soon Lin Moyu finished arranging the sealing array and said softly, "Elder Beast Emperor, I'm going to start. Are you ready?" The Beast Emperor nodded. This emperor can act at any time. Lin Moyu activated the sealing array. The sealing array permeated the formation group in the valley. The interlocking formations suddenly affected by an external force all began to collapse. The soul-devouring bug immediately awakened, letting out a sharp cry. The cry resonated directly in their souls. Lin Moyu and the Beast Emperor were momentarily dazed. Even a great Dao realm being like the Beast Emperor was affected, showing how dominant the soul-devouring bug was on the soul level. Without another word, Lin Moyu's world-burning fire fell with a boom. Since it was related to the soul void, Lin Moyu believed the world-burning fire would be effective. Even that powerful being from before feared the world-burning fire, so the soul-devouring bug would surely fear it too. As Lin Moyu expected, the newly awakened soul-devouring bug was burned by the world-burning fire, immediately letting out a series of shrill cries. The cries were full of pain. The soul-devouring bug was wrapped in flames, flying around wildly. The Beast Emperor watched and asked in surprise, "Is this heavenly punishment fire?" Lin Moyu shook his head, "It's not heavenly punishment fire, just somewhat similar." Just somewhat similar. With the Beast Emperor's eyesight, he really couldn't see any difference between the two. But since Lin Moyu said so, he naturally wouldn't ask further. Even if it really was heavenly punishment fire, if Lin Moyu said it wasn't, he could only treat it as if it wasn't for now. Seeing the fire was effective against the soul-devouring bug, the Beast Emperor felt reassured and relaxed a bit. But Lin Moyu frowned and said, "Elder Beast Emperor, though my fire can burn it, it doesn't seem able to truly kill it. I'll try some other powers. Don't let your guard down." The Beast Emperor nodded, "Don't worry, this emperor never lets his guard down." Lin Moyu immediately used other powers, starting with the most familiar Death Force. As the Death Force fell on the soul-devouring bug, its already burned body began to rapidly decay. The Death Force was also effective. Lin Moyu felt more certain, "Let's try something else." Then he used Time Force and Space Force. Space Force was ineffective, and Time Force was also ineffective. Next Lin Moyu used Destiny Force, which was also ineffective. Finally, Lin Moyu used the power Great Dao, gathering all his strength to throw a punch. With a light boom, the soul-devouring bug was sent flying, hit the ceiling array and bounced back, no longer moving. Asterisk 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 asterisk. I have completely translated the following books. Corruption in the Dungeon, The 100th Regression of the Max Level Player. Real Life Player, Your Girlfriend Was Amazing. Check them out on my P at TR30N. ko-fi.com/translate-toki only donate if you want to. My P at Trian is now up. Go to email protected translate toki. Remove the at symbol and type a. Chapter 3314, 3314. Chapter 3314, might as well rename him, Crying Wrong. It's dead, the Beast Emperor exclaimed in delight. Lin Moyu shook his head slightly, "No, it's not dead yet." The soul-devouring bug wasn't particularly strong. Aside from its strange abilities, it had almost no combat power. However, its vitality far exceeded what the Beast Emperor had described. Even if a suitable Great Dao power was used, injuring it at 4th level Dao Venerable wasn't difficult, but killing it was another matter entirely. It was like grinding water with Estonia Slow and Tediasa, and one also had to guard against its sudden attacks. It wasn't as simple as the Beast Emperor had made it sound. Lin Moyu understood that while the Beast Emperor knew about the soul-devouring bug, he lacked experience in dealing with it. Using a 4th level Dao Venerable with the right Great Dao power to kill a soul-devouring bug was just the bare minimum. The current soul-devouring bug had been severely burned by world-burning fire, its body corroded by Death Force, and finally pummeled nearly to death by Lin Moyu's power Great Dao punches. Yet even after all that, it still wasn't dead. Lin Moyu could feel its injuries healing rapidly. Hearing Lin Moyu's words, the Beast Emperor's laughter abruptly stopped. Its vitality is indeed beyond imagination. Lin Moyu said, "You can see for yourself that it's just that strong. But now it's barely hanging on. Luckily for me, several of my powers can restrain it." Lin Moyu suddenly changed his tone, "Elder Beast Emperor, could this be your first time dealing with a soul-devouring bug?" The Beast Emperor gave an awkward laugh, "Not exactly. I just didn't realize its vitality was this strong before." Lin Moyu thought for a moment and said, "Then may I trouble Elder Beast Emperor to use this as a test subject? Use all your magical treasures on it so I can see their effects on the soul-devouring bug and get a better understanding." The Beast Emperor asked, wouldn't that take too long and risk complications? Lin Moyu replied, no, I have it under control. What others feared as a terrifying creature became merely an experimental subject in Lin Moyu's hands. The Beast Emperor didn't refuse. He took out various magical treasures and began bombarding the soul-devouring bug. Each magical treasure contained different powers of the Great Tao. For a while, wind, fire, lightning, and all sorts of forces rained down on the soul-devouring bug. Inside the ceiling array, it became incredibly lively. Lin Moyu observed the changes in the soul-devouring bug closely. Through the Beast Emperor's efforts, he conducted experiments on it. The more he understood about the soul-devouring bug now, the better prepared he would be if he encountered one again in the future. He quickly noticed one thing. The soul-devouring bug was indeed immune to most powers. The Beast Emperor used over 100 magical treasures with over 100 types of Great Tao powers. Only one type of Great Tao power managed to harm the soul-devouring bug, all others were immune. Moreover, the powers it was immune to were absorbed by the soul-devouring bug. After absorbing these powers, its recovery speed significantly increased. It can immunize against most powers and absorb those immune powers to heal itself. If uninjured, it might even absorb those immune powers to enhance its realm. This particular soul-devouring bug isn't strong, but that doesn't mean all soul-devouring bugs are weak. Lin Moyu intensified his death force to keep the soul-devouring bug gravely injured but not dead. He then asked aloud, Elder Beast Emperor, do soul-devouring bugs vary in strength? The Beast Emperor replied, of course. There was once an extremely powerful soul-devouring bug that killed several Great Tao realm beings. At that time, this emperor was preoccupied with other matters and only heard about it in passing. Lin Moyu said, so they do vary in strength. This one must be relatively weak. The Beast Emperor agreed wholeheartedly. That seems right. After all these experiments, has friend Lin discovered anything else? Lin Moyu said, indeed I have. First, it can absorb immune Great Tao powers to heal itself. I suspect it can also absorb these powers to strengthen itself. Moreover, if it's continuously attacked by non-immune Great Tao powers over time, it seems to develop resistance and eventually immunity. From this, I speculate that their immunity to Great Tao powers is something they've accumulated over countless years. They might have bloodline inheritance similar to dragons or spirit beasts. If this continues unchecked over time, they could eventually become immune to all Great Tao powers. But such creatures wouldn't be allowed by the Great Tao to exist. There must be some power they cannot immune against. The Beast Emperor said softly, I didn't expect friend Lin's understanding of the Great Tao to be so deep. This emperor is impressed. Lin Moyu smiled and said modestly, you're too kind. All right Thena, the experiments are done, it's time for it to die. The Beast Emperor suddenly said, friend Lin, this emperor has an impolite request. Lin Moyu smiled slightly, please speak freely, there's no need for such formality between us. The Beast Emperor said, after killing the soul-devouring Buga, could you let this emperor have part of its corpse? Lin Moyu asked curiously, what use does its corpse have? The soul-devouring bug's realm wasn't high, around 4th level Tao Venerable at most. Its corpse didn't seem particularly valuable for things like corpse explosion or becoming a reborn being. But since the Beast Emperor wanted it, there must be some other use for its corpse. The Beast Emperor explained, this emperor wants to use it for some experiments, perhaps it could help improve my soul level slightly. Using a soul-devouring bug's corpse to enhance soul level, so wasn't that similar to ice-fire Tao stones? For Great Tao realm beings like him who valued soul levels above all else, anything that could enhance their souls was precious. Lin Moyu asked casually, may I ask what level your innate soul has reached now? The Beast Emperor replied, you're quite perceptive about matters of the Great Tao realm. To be honest, I've reached 9th level innate soul peak, one more step would make me 8th level innate soul. Lin Moyu nodded inwardly, and no wonder he felt like his own soul level seemed comparable or even superior at times when compared with the Beast Emperor's presence earlier. Still, it felt unlikely, perhaps there were things left unsaid by him. Withering and Flourishing Elder's soul level doesn't seem as high as yours, Lin Moyu remarked thoughtfully. The Beast Emperor laughed heartily, indeed. While both our souls are 9th level, so his remains mid-stage while mine stands at peak stage, nearing advancement soon. And speaking for Thera, the 3 ancestors hold late stage 9th levels, surpassing Withering slightly. As for King Boundary Sia, that fellow matches me currently, but soon enough I'll surpass him too. Having already opened Upa, the Beast Emperor elaborated openly without reservation, a small favor returned generously. Lin Moyu quipped humorously, so withering and flourishing elder really is weakest among you all. No wonder you could teach him lessons before. The Beast Emperor chuckled. That wasn't much. Here on Origin Continenta we're restricted from full power usage anyway, it's merely playful sparring. But beyond here, I'd make him cry running away. Might as well rename him, Crying Wrong, after today. From their conversation it became clear how vast disparities existed even within same-tiered beings across celestial hierarchies. 9th level innate souls alone divided into early, mid-late peaks to Jessa, all bearing significant gaps between each phase. And differing tiers altogether widened chasms further still. For instance, a Lord of Tao requiring pinnacle first-tier innate soulsa, how unfathomably powerful must such entities truly stand? Setting aside idle musings, Lin Moyu refocused decisively. A world-burning fire flared fiercely anew alongside amplified death force. Gathering every ounce wielded strength under power's great blade. With resounding force unleashed, a single punch struck true. Asterisk 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 asterisk. I have completely translated the following books. Corruption in the Dungeon, the 100th regression of the max level player. Real life player. Your girlfriend was amazing. Check them out on my P at TR30N. ko-fi.com/translate-toki, only donate if you want to. My Patreon is now up, go to email protected translate toki. Remove the @ symbol and type a. Chapter 3315, 3315. Chapter 3315, the path once strayed from. This time the soul-devouring bug could not survive. Lin Moyu precisely controlled his power, causing the already half-dead bug to perish completely. After death, the soul-devouring bug's body began to change, rapidly crystallizing into a crystal in the blink of an eye. This crystal was about a finger length long. Lin Moyu held it in his hand, sensing a pure soul force from within. Soul crystal. Lin Moyu's mind stirred. The crystal formed from the dead soul-devouring bug was very similar to a soul crystal, just not as pure. Lin Moyu understood its essence at a glance and wasn't very interested in it. He handed the crystal to the Beast Emperor. So this is a soul-devouring crystal. So that's what it looks like. The Beast Emperor was clearly seeing a crystal from a dead soul-devouring bug for the first time, his voice slightly excited. Lin Moyu smiled and said, "It seems soul-devouring crystals are quite rare." The Beast Emperor nodded, "Indeed rare. For us great Tao realm beings to improve is extremely difficult. Origin crystals are no longer useful to us. We need some extremely powerful and precious materials. Ice Fire Tao stones count as one, and soul-devouring crystals count as another." Lin Moyu asked, "So which of these two is better?" The Beast Emperor said, "They can't be compared. Ice Fire Tao stones need to be refined, which is a rather long process and involves enduring some pain. Soul-devouring crystals can be directly absorbed, directly enhancing soul levels. But unlike Ice Fire Tao stones, a lot of time is needed afterwards to polish one's foundation. Comparatively, this emperor prefers soul-devouring crystals. After all, there's no suffering involved, and the time spent in the end isn't much different." Lin Moyu laughed, "You're seeing a soul-devouring crystal for the first time, how do you know so much about it?" The Beast Emperor gave an awkward dry laugh, "It is my first time seeing one, that's true. But this emperor has heard about it from others several times. It can't be wrong." Lin Moyu guessed that the Beast Emperor's so-called heard from others was likely just hearsay passed down. Lin Moyu said, "Then I'll give you this soul-devouring crystal." The Beast Emperor was stunned, "You're giving it all to me?" Soul-devouring crystals can be divided. Lin Moyu refused, "No need. I'm still far from the Great Tao realm anyway, so I have no use for this thing. When I reach the Great Tao realm someday, if Elder Beast Emperor has any good things then, just don't forget about me." The Beast Emperor didn't expect Lin Moyu to be so generous. While feeling a bit embarrassed, he decisively didn't refuse, "Then this emperor won't be polite. Rest assured, Brother Lin, if there are any benefits in the future, I'll definitely include you." A single soul-devouring crystal directly bought over the Beast Emperor. Their level of closeness rapidly increased, changing from friend to brother. However, how much gold content there was in this brother title, only heaven knew. With the soul-devouring bug dead, the entire valley's formation was considered broken. The two strode into the most core area of the 100 Herbs Alliance. Upon entering, Lin Moyu slightly furrowed his brow. The valley was divided into two parts. One part was deathly still, while the other part was full of vitality. This scene was too familiar to him. It was just like his own undying great Tao. One side was death, one side was life. Lin Moyu thought to himself, could Withering and Flourishing Elder also be comprehending the undying great Tao? But what he displayed in previous battles wasn't the undying great Tao. At this moment, the Beast Emperor's voice sounded in his ear. It said that Withering and Flourishing once obtained an item. That item recorded a supreme great Tao, which he's been trying to comprehend. It was also because of that item that he changed his name to Withering and Flourishing. He calls this path the life and death path, said to allow one to comprehend life and death. Lin Moyu asked softly, do you know what kind of item it is? At this moment, a strange sense of urgency arose in his heart. The undying great Tao was his innate great Tao, undoubtedly the most important of the 6 great Taos he possessed. He had never seen anyone else comprehend the undying great Tao. Even in the information he had obtained, there wasn't a trace of information about the undying great Tao. This made him develop an illusion that the undying great Tao was something unique to him. Now suddenly seeing Withering and Flourishing Elders seemingly comprehending the undying great Tao. Even if it was just a possibility, he wanted to know the answer. Unfortunately, the Beast Emperor couldn't give Lin Moyu an accurate answer. The Beast Emperor said, I only know that item is extraordinary, but I'm not clear on exactly what it is. Withering and Flourishing Elder had even changed his name because of this item. How could it be a simple thing? Lin Moyu knew he couldn't get an answer from the Beast Emperor's mouth, so he could only observe for himself. He sensed the auras of life and death coming from both sides. Gradually, his furrowed brow slowly relaxed. Withering and Flourishing hadn't comprehended the undying great Tao, at least not yet. The death and life here were all artificially arranged, unrelated to the great Tao. There was a trace of life and death power within, but it was different from the undying great Tao. It was similar but not the same. Lin Moyu secretly breathed a sigh of relief. Strange, why did I care so much about whether Withering and Flourishing Elder would comprehend the undying great Tao? Many people comprehending the same great Tao should be a very normal thing. Why did I have such an emotional reaction? Innate great Tao, sudden inspiration. Could it be that something is still hidden within the undying great Tao? It seems I need to put more thought into the undying great Tao. The undying great Tao is my fundamental great Tao. With life undying, as long as the undying great Tao is completed, why worry about other great Taos not succeeding? A flash of inspiration made Lin Moyu suddenly realize that he had strayed from his path again. The sudden burst of thoughts made Lin Moyu stop, standing motionless in place. The Beast Emperor also stopped with him. He didn't urge Lin Moyu, just quietly waited. Lin Moyu's current state was very much like a cultivator's sudden enlightenment. Thunder and lightning flashed in Lin Moyu's soul world. In an extremely short time, he reviewed his entire cultivation process, walking again the path he had once walked. Finally, Lin Moyu realized that in his choices time and time again, not every choice had been correct. Many times, choices that seemed correct had actually led him astray. It wasn't that he had gone completely wrong, but that he had chosen a path that wasn't the most direct. Condensing Tao patterns wasn't wrong, comprehending great Taos was also right, but he shouldn't have put the undying great Tao on the same level as other great Taos. The undying great Tao was the first great Tao he comprehended, and also his innate great Tao. His ability to achieve such accomplishments was due to the crucial role played by the undying great Tao. It could be said that without the undying great Tao, his cultivation path wouldn't have been so smooth. As he comprehended more and more great Taos later, the role of the undying great Tao gradually weakened. Especially after comprehending illusory type great Taos, the role of the undying great Tao became even less apparent. More often, he used the power of life, the power great Tao in coordination, or just to heal injuries. He had never truly unleashed the true power of the undying great Tao. Unknowingly, he used the undying great Tao less and less frequently. Though it was his innate great Tao, it had come to stand on equal footing with the other great Taos, even inferior to some of the later comprehended great Taos. Now, Lin Moyu suddenly realized this was wrong. The 6 great Taos he possessed, Too real, too illusory, with time and space great Taos between reality and illusion, seemed to maintain a perfect balance. But thinking about it now, besides balance, the 6 great Taos also needed a leader. This leader wasn't himself, but one of the 6 great Taos. Using the undying great Tao to command the other great Taos, perhaps this is the correct answer. Lightning danced wildly in his soul world. Lin Moyu's comprehension of the great Tao deepened at an astonishing speed. The 81st Tao pattern that was about to be completed was instantly finished. Then he began to condense the 82nd Tao pattern. At the same time, a strange aura emanated from Lin Moyu's body. The Beast Emperor murmured softly, "He's really had an enlightenment." Asterisk 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 asterisk. I will now start translating corruption in the dungeon. Asterisk 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 asterisk. I have completely translated the following books. The 100th Regression of the Max Level Player. Real-Life Player. Your Girlfriend Was Amazing. Check them out on my p@tr30n. ko-fi.com/translate-toki only donate if you want to. My p@trian is now up, go to email protected translate toki. Remove the @ symbol and type a. Chapter 3316, 3316. Chapter 3316, Late Stage 8th Grade Innate Soul. Lin Moyu's sudden enlightenment was both expected and unexpected for the Beast Emperor. Enlightenment is rare. Most cultivators can't experience even one enlightenment in their entire lives. Even those with exceptional talent rarely achieve enlightenment. Enlightenment requires not just talent, but also opportunity. But the Beast Emperor was only slightly surprised by Lin Moyu's enlightenment, then felt it was quite ordinary. Having seen too many miracles, when Lin Moyu suddenly had an enlightenment, the Beast Emperor felt it was almost normal. In his countless years, the Beast Emperor had seen innumerable cultivators. Lin Moyu was in a league of his own, incomparable to anyone else. Whatever happened to Lin Moyu, there was no need for surprise. The Beast Emperor's surprise lasted only an instant before he sighed softly, "Such talent, it's truly enviable. I wonder what insights he's gained." He looked around at the life and death energies, but couldn't sense much after observing for a long time. At this moment, Lin Moyu's inner world was in turmoil. In his soul world, 6 great Taos appeared, with the undying great Tao connecting to the other 5. It wasn't a true connection of the great Taos, but a connection of their essences in a sense. He repeatedly manifested each great Tao's true form, using himself as a medium to make the essences of the great Taos interact. Having experience with fusing the time and space great Taos before, Lin Moyu was familiar with this process. As the essences of the great Taos fused under Lin Moyu's guidance, the previously equal great Taos gradually developed a hierarchy. The undying great Tao, as Lin Moyu's innate great Tao, began to rise in status. The other 5 great Taos became subordinate to the undying great Tao. Lin Moyu's comprehension of the undying great Tao erupted like a volcano. His powers of death and life increased dramatically. Suddenly, gray and white energies appeared in his soul world. They danced like 2 long dragons, spreading their essence throughout his soul world. Soon, his entire soul world was enveloped by the gray and white energies. Lin Moyu had an epiphany and slowly opened his soul's eyes, taking a deep breath to absorb all the gray and white energies along with the 2 dragons. His soul was filled with the life and death powers of the undying great Tao. At this moment, his soul felt as if it was merging with the great Tao. He had comprehended and controlled great Taos before, even invoking their power and manifesting their true forms, but he had never felt this sense of fusion with a great Tao. The feeling of merging with the great Tao was marvelous. It was Lin Moyu's first time experiencing it, and in an instant he became captivated, almost unable to extricate himself. He had felt something similar before, when receiving rewards in the great world and when receiving great Tao rewards, but it wasn't as clear as now. Lin Moyu felt his closeness to the great Tao increasing. Increasing closeness to the Great Tao was a broad way of saying that his soul level had improved. Previously his soul was already an 8th grade innate soul, but he wasn't sure exactly what stage it was at within the 8th grade, early, middle or late stage. But now, Lin Moyu clearly sensed his current level. The Great Tao told him that his soul level had advanced from mid-stage 8th grade to late stage. However, his realm was still low, so he couldn't freely wield Great Tao power like other Great Tao realm experts. When he reached the Great Tao realm, he would be able to skip a level and rival many veteran Great Tao realm experts. In other words, his foundation was becoming more and more solid, just waiting for an opportunity to soar. The lightning and thunder in his soul gradually dissipated as this enlightenment came to an end. Lin Moyu tried hard to remember the feeling of merging with the Great Tao, maintaining this state as much as possible to carefully experience it. This state was extremely beneficial for his cultivation. Perhaps no practical benefits could be seen on the surface, but imperceptibly accumulating over time, the benefits would become greater and greater. Lin Moyu's soul murmured to itself, this enlightenment has yielded significant gains. I understand the path I need to take going forward, correcting the detours I had taken before. Being a jack of all trades sometimes means being a master of none. There's reason in the saying, one trick is enough to eat all over the world. I should focus on the undying Great Tao as the main path, with the other 5 Great Taos as support, walking a path of undying immortality. For Lin Moyu, the improvement in soul level was secondary. The greatest gain this time was understanding the path he needed to take in the future. It was fortunate to have this enlightenment. If he had continued on without realizing, he would have strayed further and further, making it increasingly difficult to return to the right path. With a thought, the gray and white undying Great Tao surrounded him, while the other 5 Great Taos appeared at his feet. From this moment, the hierarchy between the Great Taos became clear. With a late-stage 8th grade innate soul, clothed in the undying Great Tao and standing atop the 5 other Great Taos, he emanated a profound pressure. He was like an emperor, using the undying Great Tao as his imperial robe and armor, inspecting his generals. In the physical world, a heavy pressure suddenly emanated from Lin Moyu's body. The Beast Emperor beside him shuddered, his aura violently churning. Such strong pressure. Brother Lin actually possesses an innate soul. The Beast Emperor couldn't help exclaiming, his voice filled with shock. The pressure Lin Moyu unconsciously released had already surpassed the Tao Venerable level. The Beast Emperor clearly understood what this pressure represented. Lin Moyu's future attainment of the Great Tao realm was now certain. Most terrifying was that the Beast Emperor felt the pressure Lin Moyu released seemed even stronger than his own. He realized that Lin Moyu's soul level might be even higher than his own, though he had this suspicion, he dared not believe it. The pressure came suddenly and disappeared just as suddenly. Before the Beast Emperor could figure it out, the pressure had vanished. Lin Moyu slowly opened his eyes. There was no sharp light in his eyes, only extreme gentleness. Thank you, Elder Beast Emperor, for protecting me. The Beast Emperor suppressed his inner shock and laughed heartily, Brother Lin is too polite. Congratulations on your enlightenment and great progress in cultivation. Lin Moyu smiled humbly, this enlightenment only made me realize I had taken some detours before. After this, I understand how to proceed on my future path. The Beast Emperor laughed even more loudly, that's even more worth celebrating than progress in cultivation. For cultivators, progress in cultivation is temporary, but finding the right path is more important. Lin Moyu nodded, indeed worth celebrating. Only by walking the right path can one go further. The Beast Emperor said, if this emperor is not mistaken, Brother Lin's soul has already reached the innate soul level, right? Lin Moyu didn't deny it, indeed, it has reached the innate soul level. The Beast Emperor sighed, 4th level Tao Venerable with an innate soul. Brother Lin's future entry into the Great Tao realm is inevitable. Even the heavenly tribulation will be much weaker. The higher the soul level, the weaker the tribulation. With Lin Moyu's soul level, the heavenly tribulation he would face later wouldn't be too strong. Combined with Lin Moyu's own strength, entering the Great Tao realm would be no problem. Lin Moyu smiled and said, then I'll take Elder Beast Emperor's auspicious words. I also hope I can smoothly enter the Great Tao realm. As mists swirled, the Beast Emperor spoke, Brother Lin, there are some things this Emperor feels should be told to you. Asterisk 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 asterisk. I will now start translating corruption in the dungeon. Asterisk 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 asterisk. I have completely translated the following books. The 100th Regression of the Max Level Player. Real-Life Player. Your Girlfriend Was Amazing. Check them out on my p@tr30n. ko-fi.com/translate-toki only donate if you want to. My p@trian is now up. Go to email protected translate toki. Remove the @ symbol and type a. Chapter 3317, 3317. Chapter 3317, Waiting for an Opportunity to Soar. The Beast Emperor hesitated noticeably as he said this, clearly having some reservations. Lin Moyu said, "If Elder Beast Emperor finds it difficult, you don't have to say it." Lin Moyu understood the Beast Emperor's personality very well. This method of backing off to advance worked very effectively on the Beast Emperor. The more he said this, the more the Beast Emperor would tell him. The Beast Emperor said, "Actually, if Brother Lin wasn't also walking the path of Tao patterns, there are some things this Emperor couldn't say." The Beast Emperor naturally cultivated Tao patterns, which was the most orthodox cultivation path. However, due to some special reasons, after the origin catastrophe, the method of cultivating Tao patterns was lost. It was as if an invisible hand had completely erased the correct cultivation method, not allowing people to know it. Now on the origin continent, besides the few great Tao realm beings like the Beast Emperor, very few knew the method of cultivating Tao patterns. Even the ancestors of the Great Holy Lands didn't know, and also followed the current cultivation methods. At the time, Lin Moyu also found it strange. Since the three ancestors knew the correct cultivation method, why didn't they spread it, instead letting countless people take detours? Thinking about it later, they must have had no choice, surely having reasons they couldn't speak of. Lin Moyu didn't speak, he just listened quietly. The Beast Emperor sighed and continued, "It involves some secrets. Some things can't be told to outsiders. Can't be told to outsiders, but Brother Lin isn't an outsider. There's no problem telling you a bit. With Brother Lin's knowledge, you should know that many things have been buried by time. For example, this method of cultivating Tao patterns, it's not that we don't want to tell, but that we can't tell. Not only can we not speak of the Tao pattern cultivation method, we can't even speak of the lesser method of breaking through to the great Tao realm. Only when we encounter someone like Brother Lin, who already knows how to cultivate Tao patterns and has embarked on the Tao pattern cultivation path, can we speak of it." Lin Moyu asked, "Who set these rules?" "The Great Tao." The Beast Emperor said, "It's a long story. Let's talk as we walk." They walked along the path of intertwining life and death as the Beast Emperor slowly explained. There are three great Taos, named time, years, and fate. The time great Tao governs the river of time, encompassing past and present. The years great Tao governs what has been. It seems to overlap with the river of time, but it's not so. The years great Tao has the ability to erase certain things from the river of time. But this doesn't mean the years great Tao is superior to the time great Tao. The two are parallel, both primordial great Taos, just with different responsibilities. The time great Tao is responsible for recording, while the years great Tao is responsible for erasing the past. Lin Moyu listened carefully, then said, "So the fate great Tao is responsible for erasing the future." The Beast Emperor said, "Though not entirely correct, it's close enough. With the three working together, no one except the Tao Lords can defy them. Before entering the origin continent, we all swore great Tao oaths not to leak the Tao pattern cultivation method, nor reveal the method of breaking through to the great Tao realm." The Beast Emperor explained why they couldn't speak of it, because they had sworn oaths. If they leaked information about the Tao pattern cultivation method to others, they would be punished. That's why he had hesitated so much when asking Lin Moyu earlier. Lin Moyu asked, "What if I had answered that I wasn't cultivating the Tao pattern method?" The Beast Emperor replied without hesitation, Then this emperor would have passed on the Tao pattern method to Brother Lin. With Brother Lin's talent, not cultivating Tao patterns would be too much of a waste. Lin Moyu felt somewhat moved. Even knowing he might be punished, the Beast Emperor still asked him. And he was prepared to pass on the Tao pattern cultivation method if Lin Moyu's cultivation method was incorrect. The Great Tao's punishment wouldn't be light. The Beast Emperor would certainly have to pay a price. Yet even so, he still decided to do this. Lin Moyu smiled and said, "Thank you, Elder Beast Emperor. Fortunately, this junior didn't disappoint you." The Beast Emperor said, "Brother Lin, don't be so polite. What's our relationship? A little punishment is nothing. May I ask where Brother Lin obtained the Tao pattern cultivation method?" Lin Moyu said, "Once the three ancestors had me go to the ruins of the god-slaying sect. I obtained the Tao pattern cultivation method from there, as well as the method for those ancestors to break through to the Great Tao realm." The Beast Emperor laughed. The three ancestors truly live up to being businessmen. Even when the Great Tao forbids speaking of it, they can find loopholes. "Brother Lin, do you know why the Great Tao hides this information?" Lin Moyu shook his head, indicating he didn't know. The Beast Emperor said, "The Great Tao is supremely impartial. It actually has no self-awareness, only instinct. The Great Tao will only use the most direct and simple methods to solve problems." After the origin catastrophe, 5 of the 9 continents sank, the divine continent Cauldron was lost, and the origin continent was gravely injured. Moreover, the cancer within the origin continent still exists, not yet completely resolved. To preserve the origin continent's vitality, the Great Tao had no choice but to restrict the cultivation paths on the origin continent. Except for a very small number of people, most will have no chance. Every Great Tao realm achievement requires the support of a large amount of origin power, and this origin power comes from the origin continent. With the origin continent severely damaged, the Great Tao chose to cut costs and increase income. It erased the correct cultivation methods, making it difficult for cultivators on the origin continent to advance to the Great Tao realm. But according to the Beast Emperor, the path to advancing to the Great Tao realm wasn't completely blocked. This also confirmed Lin Moyu's understanding of the Great Tao. It would always leave a glimmer of hope. That said, the fact remained that over countless years, no one had advanced to the Great Tao realm. It was impossible that no geniuses had appeared in so many years. Lin Moyu asked, "But after so many years, no more Great Tao realm beings have appeared on the origin continent?" The Beast Emperor said, "Not only was the origin continent itself damaged, its destiny was also severely injured. It's already very difficult for new Great Tao realm beings to appear. Add to that the Great Tao's restrictions, and it becomes even more difficult. There are naturally geniuses, so over these years, some have become pseudo-Great Tao realm beings. Though pseudo-Great Tao realm isn't Great Tao realm, they can similarly live forever without worrying about lifespan. They just need to wait for an opportunity. When the opportunity comes, they can naturally soar and achieve the Great Tao." Lin Moyu asked further, "What opportunity?" The Beast Emperor said, "This emperor doesn't know exactly what opportunity, but it can be certain that it will be an unimaginable upheaval of heaven and earth. At that time, the stars will shift and the world will be turned upside down. Everything will become different. That will be the turning point for all geniuses, and also the turning point for us old fellows, and even more so the turning point for the origin continent." Lin Moyu's expression became serious. "Does Elder Beast Emperor know when?" The Beast Emperor said, "Unknown. Everything is unknown. We few have been here for so many years, always waiting. Perhaps this opportunity will come in the next second, or perhaps we'll have to wait another few 100,000 years. But as long as one enters the pseudo-Great Tao realm, they can afford to wait several 100,000 years. Brother Lin, you must wait for the opportunity to soar." Asterisk 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 asterisk. I will now start translating corruption in the dungeon. Asterisk 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 asterisk. I have completely translated the following books. The 100th Regression of the Max Level Player. Real Life Player. Your Girlfriend Was Amazing. Check them out on my P at tr30n. ko-fi.com/translate-toki only donate if you want to. My Patreon is now up. Go to email protected translate toki. Remove the @ symbol and type a. Chapter 3318, 3318. Chapter 3318, Plant Whatever You Want. The Beast Emperor spoke casually, and he was right, for Great Tao Realm beings like them who wouldn't die barring accidents, even a few million years wasn't an unbearable weight. This further illustrated that the Beast Emperor, 3 ancestors, King of the Boundary Sea, and the exiled Withering and Flourishing Elder must have had enormous plans for finding ways to enter the origin continent. It must be to wait for that opportunity, that upheaval of heaven and earth, to see how the world would change. If the origin continent truly underwent a dramatic change that benefited cultivators, the first to benefit would naturally be the cultivators on the origin continent. And with the Beast Emperor's group controlling vast resources and occupying large territories on the origin continent, they would undoubtedly benefit the most, far surpassing others. Lin Moyu gradually began to understand the true purpose of the Beast Emperor and the others coming to the origin continent. It was for that upheaval, waiting for an opportunity. But the Beast Emperor didn't say exactly what benefits they could gain, only calling it a turning point. Lin Moyu didn't pursue the question further. He knew this was a great secret of the Beast Emperor's group, not something he could ask about. He could only say that this turning point was immensely important to them. For this turning point, they gave up countless years of cultivation time in the great Taos beyond. On the origin continent, their cultivation was difficult to improve, but they all believed that for this turning point, it was worth it. Moreover, according to the Beast Emperor, in this great upheaval, those cultivators who could become pseudo-Great Tao Realm could take another step forward to become true Great Tao Realm. Their ability to achieve pseudo-Great Tao Realm in an environment where the path forward was almost cut off had already proven their talent. This was also a selection by the Great Tao for the origin continent under strong restrictions, selecting the most outstanding individuals. Lin Moyu pondered for a moment, then said softly, "Why do I feel like this seems to be an elaborately arranged situation? Does the Great Tao really have no consciousness?" The Beast Emperor said with certainty, "The Great Tao has no consciousness, this is beyond doubt. However, the Great Tao has extremely strong instincts. It can make many decisions smarter than intelligent beings." Lin Moyu didn't doubt the Beast Emperor's words. What exactly is the Great Tao? Which Great Tao is it exactly? Lin Moyu had always been curious about which specific Great Tao was meant by the Great Tao. He knew it wasn't the Time Great Tao or the Space Great Tao, so which Great Tao was it exactly? The Beast Emperor laughed. "When we speak of the Great Tao, we don't mean any specific Great Tao, but rather the collective instinctive consciousness of all Great Taos. All primordial Great Taos converge together to form a collective with instinctive consciousness. It represents all Great Taos." Lin Moyu showed some surprise, "So that's how it is." The Beast Emperor said, "Now you understand. On the origin continent, everything is controlled by it, because it represents all Great Taos. It is the supreme existence. However, it's said that powerful Tao Lords can stand as equals with the Great Tao, but this Emperor doesn't know if that's true." The Beast Emperor spoke frankly. When he said his level was limited and he didn't know something, he really didn't know. Lin Moyu suddenly smiled. "It might not necessarily control everything on the origin continent, right? For example, those beings at the bottom of the Boundary Sea, and the origin ancestral land." The Beast Emperor laughed. "You're just nitpicking." Lin Moyu said, "Well, am I right or not?" The Beast Emperor said, "You're right, no problem. Those beings at the bottom of the Boundary Sea are indeed troublesome. And I suspect the great upheaval will be related to them. Perhaps when there's a way to deal with them, it will trigger the great upheaval. This Emperor has discussed with the 3 ancestors before. The great upheaval should need a catalyst. We just haven't found the catalyst yet. Perhaps it's at the bottom of the Boundary Sea, or maybe in the origin ancestral land." The Beast Emperor had gotten into the topic and started talking non-stop. "Regarding the origin ancestral land, how much does Brother Lin know?" Lin Moyu shook his head. "I've only heard there's such a place. I don't know anything else." The Beast Emperor laughed. "It's right that you don't know. Actually, this Emperor doesn't know either. It's all hearsay. The origin ancestral land has appeared many times. The intervals between appearances vary in length, hard to determine the timing. The number of people who can enter the origin ancestral land each time also varies, never fixed. The only certainty is that only Dao Venerables can enter. Moreover, the origin ancestral land has an age limit. Those too old can't enter. The 3 ancestors and I have tried. The limit is 100,000 years old. Dao Venerables over 100,000 years old can't enter. This information was all new to Lin Moyu. The origin ancestral land actually had restrictions on age and cultivation level. Dao Venerables under 100,000 years old could enter. This was the basic condition, though it was quite lenient. Normally, it wouldn't be a problem. If someone couldn't cultivate to Dao Venerable by 100,000 years old, their life was probably over anyway. Lin Moyu said, the 3 ancestors told me that the child of Yin would definitely be able to enter. The Beast Emperor said, that's right, the child of Yin can definitely enter. The child of Yang can enter too. But over all these years, while a few children of Yin have appeared, not a single child of Yang has shown up. Brother Lin is the child of Yin. When the origin ancestral land appears, you'll definitely have to enter. All I can say is, be very careful once you're inside. Lin Moyu was stunned, is the origin ancestral land that dangerous? The Beast Emperor said, it's actually not too bad. Most people can come back alive. But strangely, no child of Yang has ever returned, and only a very few children of Yin have come back. Lin Moyu thought for a moment, not returning doesn't necessarily mean they died. The Beast Emperor made a sound of agreement, that's right, not returning doesn't mean they died. Moreover, the origin ancestral land is a very strange place. Some people come back with their memories intact, but some return with their memories in disorder. A few even went mad. Brother Lin, can you understand this? A Dao Venerable, actually going mad. Lin Moyu echoed the Beast Emperor's words, it is indeed strange. Making a Dao Venerable go mad isn't easy. The Beast Emperor then told everything he knew about the origin ancestral land. Fortunately, Withering and Flourishing Elders Valley was large enough for the Beast Emperor to talk at length. The Beast Emperor turned into a chatterbox, speaking in great detail until he had told Lin Moyu everything, finally giving Lin Moyu some understanding of the origin ancestral land. In the Beast Emperor's words, the origin ancestral land was not only strange but also very dangerous. The Beast Emperor advised Lin Moyu more than once not to take risks. However, Lin Moyu was deeply interested in the origin ancestral land. He had made a promise to the 3 ancestors that when the origin ancestral land opened, he would enter and share the information and resources he obtained inside with the 3 ancestors. Thinking back now, it seemed the 3 ancestors were certain he could return. Yet according to the Beast Emperor, historically there were no examples of children of Yin returning after entering. Why did the 3 ancestors believe he would definitely return? Lin Moyu thought to himself, the 3 ancestors must know something. Finally, they reached the end of the path of life and death and truly entered the valley. This journey had been quite rewarding for Lin Moyu. Not only did he gain an enlightenment, but he also obtained a lot of information from the Beast Emperor, which might prove very useful at some point in the future. As they left the path of life and death, a strange aura hit them. This aura seemed to contain endless vitality, flowing continuously. The Beast Emperor pointed ahead, this is the treasure ground for spirit plant rebirth. This emperor will erase Withering and Flourishing soul imprint for Brother Lin. After Brother Lin refines it, you can plant whatever you want. Asterisk 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 asterisk. I am in the process of translating the first couple of hundred of chapters. The only issue is moving them takes forever, like 10 every 20 minutes or so. Please ignore them till I move them. Asterisk 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 asterisk. Chapter 3319, 3319. Chapter 3319, Suddenly Feeling Sorry for Withering and Flourishing Elder. In the Beast Emperor's words, the treasure ground used by Withering and Flourishing Elder for spirit plant rebirth was like a vegetable gardenia, plant whatever you want. As he spoke, the Beast Emperor began erasing Withering and Flourishing Elder's soul imprint. While working, the Beast Emperor explained, this treasure ground actually has another name, the Spirit Rotation Blessed Land. Once a Spirit Rotation Blessed Land is formed, it cannot be moved or stored in a rules world. It must remain where it is. So, Brother Lin, think carefully about what you want to plant. It's best to plant something that doesn't require much care. Anything planted here, whether flowers, grass, or trees, can become spiritual entities. The Beast Emperor explained the uses of the Spirit Rotation Blessed Land. Anything planted on it could survive. Even ordinary rice planted here could become spiritual rice, a treasure for cultivation. In the great Taos beyond, some people used it to grow various spiritual materials and grains. The spirit plant rebirth secret technique essentially preserved a final trace of vitality after death. Then the being was replanted here, using the unique properties of the Spirit Rotation Blessed Land to revive them. This secret technique was only effective for plant-based lifeforms and required a special method to separate a trace of true spirit. Only then could a trace of vitality be left behind after death. Withering and Flourishing Elder controlled this trace of true spirit, which essentially meant he controlled the life and death of all Tao Venerables in the 100 Herbs Alliance. Lin Moyu pondered the Beast Emperor's words, considering a possibility. He didn't have any seeds to plant, but if not plants, could he plant something else? Lin Moyu asked, are there many Spirit Rotation Blessed Lands in the Great Taos beyond? The Beast Emperor said, not many, but not too few either. There used to be many of them, but their numbers decreased after that catastrophe. Fortunately, they are not consumable resources. As long as some remain, they can continue to be used. So this thing isn't particularly precious in the Great Taos beyond, but on the origin continent, it's quite rare. Brother Lin can make good use of it. As he spoke, the Beast Emperor successfully erased Withering and Flourishing Elder's soul imprint. The Beast Emperor's soul level was higher than Withering and Flourishing Elder's, so erasing his soul imprint wasn't difficult. Even Lin Moyu could have done it himself, it just would have taken much longer. It might have taken years to wear it down. Having the Beast Emperor handle it was naturally better, it only took a few minutes to complete. With the soul imprint erased, the Spirit Rotation Blessed Land became ownerless again. Lin Moyu quickly left his own soul imprint on it and completed its refinement. The Beast Emperor said, take your time deciding what to plant, there's no rush. Let's keep moving. I remember Withering and Flourishing Elder had something good here that he probably didn't take with him. The two walked past the Spirit Rotation Blessed Land and deeper into the valley. The deeper parts of the valley were lavishly arranged. Withering and Flourishing Elder had lived here for countless years and had made his home quite comfortable. It was clear that apart from Withering and Flourishing Elder himself, there were usually no outsiders here. Lin Moyu stood in the valley and scanned it thoroughly but found nothing unusual for now. There were no formations or hidden places, the entire valley was visible at a glance. The Beast Emperor lightly coughed as a drop of blood flew out from within his misty aura. The Beast Emperor's blood radiated astonishing power, even space around it warped. Just this one drop of blood was enough to crush a Tao Venerable below 4th level. Then the blood began burning fiercely. Using his blood as fuel, flames erupted high into the sky. The flames flickered continuously. After several seconds, they suddenly pointed in a specific direction. The Beast Emperor said, found it. It's hidden quite well. Fortunately, I have my methods. Where the flames pointed appeared to be an ordinary mountain wall and nothing unusual at first glance. The Beast Emperor led Lin Moyu over and followed the flames' guidance to pull at something with his hand. From the mountain wall, he pulled down an entire piece of bark. The bark was large, as several meters wide and tall, but it was already withered and lifeless. It seemed to have some special purpose. After removing the bark, Lin Moyu discovered a cave behind it. Even his spiritual perception hadn't detected this cave earlier clearly. This bark was extraordinary. Lin Moyu examined it carefully and was slightly startled. Is this Withering and Flourishing Elder's bark? The Beast Emperor said, to be precise, it's dead bark left behind after Withering and Flourishing shed his skin. Lin Moyu asked in confusion, Withering and Flourishing shed skin? The Beast Emperor nodded. Withering and Flourishing isn't an ordinary tree. His true form is called the 1,000-layer tree. Every 10,000 years, he sheds his skin once. Each time he sheds skin, his power increases slightly. After accumulating this process 1,000 times, he can advance one realm. For example, from 9th grade innate soul in Great Tao realm to 8th grade innate soul. Lin Moyu clicked his tongue in amazement. There's actually such a tree. Shedding skin every 10,000 years to advance once every 10 million years. So if time were sufficient, wouldn't that mean withering and flourishing elder could theoretically improve infinitely? Combined with great Tao realm beings' immunity to aging, wouldn't that mean withering and flourishing elder had no limits? The Beast Emperor guessed what Lin Moyu was thinking and laughed heartily. Of course it's not that simple. When completing 1,000 sheds of skin, he must undergo a trial. You can think of it as heavenly punishment. If he passes, he advances. If not, he perishes completely. Indeed, the great Tao is fair. Everything must remain balanced. The Beast Emperor tossed the bark to Lin Moyu. This bark is decent material, brother Lin should keep it. Lin Moyu accepted it without hesitation. The bark was indeed good material. Judging by its quality, it was at least 8th level Tao Venerable grade. It seems withering and flourishing elder is truly full of treasures, Lin Moyu joked as he followed the Beast Emperor into the cave. The Beast Emperor said seriously, "You're right. The 1,000-layer tree is full of treasures. In fact, in realms beyond, the 1,000-layer tree has been hunted by powerful beings who kill them for their sap to refine pilsa and use other parts for crafting tools. So someone like withering and flourishing returning to realms beyond won't necessarily have an easy life. He'll have to tread carefully. This guy really is pitiful, preparing for so many years on the origin continent only for everything to end in failure." Lin Moyu suddenly felt some sympathy for withering and flourishing elder. Being constantly targeted must be unbearable. The cave was deep. After several twists and turns, they finally reached its end. After rounding one last corner, a brilliant light appeared before them along with a faint fragrance filling their senses. What was strange was that before turning this corner they hadn't noticed anything at all. All light and scent had been completely sealed off until now. Lin Moyu saw a small pool not more than 1 meter across with a thin layer of transparent liquid inside emitting that faint fragrance. At its center lay something fist-sized resembling a cedar but radiating dazzling light, and within that light Lin Moyu sensed sharp energy emanating from it. The Beast Emperor smiled. "I wasn't wrong, it really is a great Tao sword core." Lin Moyu asked curiously, "What is a great Tao sword core?" The Beast Emperor explained. A great Tao sword core is a treasure nurtured by the sword great Tao itself, a supreme treasure for sword cultivators. It has many uses. It can be refined into an unparalleled sword or used to temper one's sword intent or even enhance one's soul level. The 81 swords suppressing heaven and earth were all made from great Tao sword cores as their fundamental material. 10,000 years ago, with formations, a withering and flourishing elder pulled something down from beyond, and I suspected then it might be Thissa, and I wasn't wrong. Asterisk 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 asterisk. I will now start translating corruption in the dungeon. Asterisk 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 asterisk. I have completely translated the following books. The 100th Regression of the Max Level Player. Real Life Player. Your Girlfriend Was Amazing. Check them out on my P at TR30N. ko-fi.com/translate-toki. Only donate if you want to. My Patreon is now up. Go to email protected translate toki. Remove the @ symbol and type a. Chapter 3320, 3320. Chapter 3320, a spring compressed to its limit can always bounce higher. According to the Beast Emperor, after obtaining the Great Tao Sword Core, Withering and Flourishing Elder had been trying to refine it into his new avatar. Withering and Flourishing Elder even used the sap from his own body for refinement, but unfortunately, he never succeeded. The Great Tao Sword Core was special, only those who cultivated the Sword Great Tao could use it. Even as a Great Tao realm being, Withering and Flourishing Elder could do nothing with the Great Tao Sword Core. But he didn't give up. For a full 100,000 years, he kept trying to refine it, but never succeeded. The sap was equivalent to Withering and Flourishing Elder's blood. The method he used was called blood refinement, a technique specifically for refining difficult to refine treasures. The Beast Emperor waved his hand, drawing the Great Tao Sword Core to him. As soon as the Great Tao Sword Core left, the sap in the pool instantly turned to mist and completely dried up. The Beast Emperor handed the Great Tao Sword Core to Lin Moyu. Keep it. It might be useful in the future. Even if you can't use it yourself, you can sell it for a good price to exchange for some precious items. Remember, don't sell it to the three ancestors now. If you want to sell it, wait until you reach the Great Tao Realm and exchange it for items used by Great Tao Realm beings. The Beast Emperor added this caution, afraid Lin Moyu might be taken advantage of. Lin Moyu smiled and said, "Thank you, Elder Beast Emperor." The Beast Emperor said, "There's no need for such formalities between us." Lin Moyu had actually already thought of a use for the Great Tao Sword Core. As a Great Tao Realm treasure, it couldn't be used to summon elemental liches for now. Moreover, the most suitable place for the Great Tao Sword Core should be to give it to Lin Mohan. His elder sister cultivated the Sword Tao. The Great Tao Sword Core was practically tailor-made for her. Withering and Flourishing Elder's good items weren't just the Spirit Rotation Blessed Land and the Great Tao Sword Core, but those things were basically all on his person. When he left, they left the Origin Continent with him. What remained were only things that couldn't be taken away, like the Great Tao Sword Core. After taking the Great Tao Sword Core and leaving the cave, the Beast Emperor smiled and said, "All right, this Emperor should be going now. From now on, this territory is yours. How to handle it is up to you." Lin Moyu bowed to the Beast Emperor, "Thank you, Elder Beast Emperor." The Beast Emperor chuckled, "Don't be so polite. Come visit this Emperor for tea and chat when you have time." As his words fell, the Beast Emperor turned into a mist and vanished without a trace. The valley suddenly became quiet. Lin Moyu looked at the Spirit Rotation Blessed Land. This Spirit Rotation Blessed Land had already connected to the Earth of the Origin Continent and couldn't be separated. Over countless years, Withering and Flourishing Elder had made many arrangements. Below the Spirit Rotation Blessed Land, several Origin Spirit Veins were connected to it, providing Origin power. Although the Spirit Rotation Blessed Land could absorb Origin power from heaven and earth on its own, with Origin Spirit Veins providing assistance, its effects could be further enhanced. Lin Moyu had already decided what to plant. With a thought, a huge crystal appeared in midair. Like Sleeping Beauty, Lillian was sleeping inside the crystal. Her soul was recovering, but the recovery speed was extremely slow. Moreover, her soul wasn't injured, so spirit flowers couldn't be used to speed up her recovery. The Spirit Rotation Blessed Land can grow spiritual flowers and herbs. I wonder if it can help Lillian recover. Lillian's current state was somewhat similar to a Tao Venerable who had used Spirit Plant Rebirth. Both were living beings, just different in form. Lin Moyu thought it should work. He placed the crystal coffin containing Lillian into the Spirit Rotation Blessed Land. Immediately, soil from the Spirit Rotation Blessed Land flew up as if alive, crawling over the crystal coffin. In a moment, the crystal coffin was enveloped by the spiritual soil from the Spirit Rotation Blessed Land. Lin Moyu sensed the changes in Lillian and found that her soul's recovery speed was gradually accelerating. It's indeed effective. At this rate, she'll fully recover in at most 100 years. Lin Moyu breathed a sigh of relief. He had fulfilled most of his promise to Lillian. Because he couldn't find the soul Venerable, he still couldn't revive Lillian's people, but at least Lillian could come back to life. That was enough. There are too many unsatisfactory things in the world. It's impossible for everything to go as one wishes. Lillian was once a member of the Starry Sky Divine Spirit race, but after that sacrifice, she was no longer one. Revived by Xiao Hoyuan, Lillian had a completely new identity, no different from other humans on the Origin Continent. Except for her unchanged appearance, some marks that once belonged to the Starry Sky Divine Spirit race had also disappeared. Lillian had become a completely new being. Looking towards the distance at the endless path of life and death, Lin Moyu showed a hint of disdain. Neither one thing nor the other, no use in keeping it. With a flick of his finger, death force fell like raindrops, destroying all vitality on the path of life and death. Under the death force, all beings were equal. Whether withered plants or thriving areas, all withered and completely died. The death force went back and forth, plowing through the path of life and death several times in an extremely short time, completely erasing all traces of it. The land swept by death force completely lost all vitality, even more desolate than if it had been burned. Truly not a blade of grass grew, almost no different from the former territory of the Netherworld race. Then Lin Moyu waved out life force, bringing vitality to this land. Under the nourishment of life force, this land quickly burst with vitality, even releasing more vitality than the surrounding areas. Lin Moyu murmured to himself, life and death transformation, moving towards death to live, just like a spring compressed to its limit can always bounce higher. Now his great Tao had changed, from a balance of 6 Taos to a state with the undying great Tao as the main and the other 5 as support. In his vision, the current undying great Tao was just connected to the other Taos, having just completed positioning. In the future, as the great Tao powers fuse, when using the undying great Tao as his innate great Tao, it would naturally mobilize the power of other Taos. By then, when the undying great Tao emerged, the time great Tao, space great Tao, and destiny great Tao might all activate together. Lin Moyu knew he had taken a new path of integrating the heavenly Taos. After erasing the path of life and death, Lin Moyu released a large number of Legion commanders with a thought. At the same time, the previously released skeleton generals and Legion commanders had all returned and were now gathered outside the valley. Lin Moyu's idea was simple. He wanted to rule this area alone, and naturally, he would entrust the rule to his undead army. Now the undead army's numbers were astonishing. There were 300 billion skeleton generals, 10,000 Legion commanders, and if all the dragon riders were released, that would be 100 billion. Not counting the number of skeleton kings, the total of the undead army had reached 400 billion. In the current origin continent, there were almost no enemies that could make Lin Moyu deploy his entire undead army. Lin Moyu decided to allocate 1/10 of the skeleton generals, plus 1/10 of the dragon rider legions, to manage this land. 30 billion skeleton generals, 10 billion undead legions, a total of 40 billion combat power, each at 5th level Dao Venerable, with the legion commanders even reaching the peak of 5th level. This combat power was enough to have a say, and no one would dare to say anything. To be on the safe side, Lin Moyu also left Yanbei behind. With this 8th level Dao Venerable reborn being, they wouldn't lack high-end combat power. Lin Moyu planned this land in his mind, already thinking about how to build cities, where to build them, how many cities to build, and a series of other issues. Asterisk 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 asterisk. I will now start translating corruption in the dungeon. Asterisk 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 asterisk. I have completely translated the following books. The 100th Regression of the Max Level Player. Real Life Player. Your Girlfriend Was Amazing. Check them out on my P at TR30N. ko-fi.com/translate-toki only donate if you want to. My Patreon is now up. Go to email protected translate toki. Remove the @ symbol and type a